What's up? Stretch Ceiling, how you doing? Bay Marcus, Spinning by Juan. What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? How you guys doing? How you guys doing? It's Friday, Dan. What's up, y'all? How you guys doing this Friday night? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Real Paint Talks of PSC live on Friday. I have a special guest on tonight. Great guy. You guys probably know him a little bit. Timothy Barco. Some of you might know him. If you guys don't, after this, you will know him. Check him out. He is a great guy. So I'm going to invite him on in, and we're going to get this started. Just let me see how I do that for a second. Invite to join Mr. Timothy Barco. Here we go. So let's invite him on in. Hope you guys are having a great Friday. Thanks for tuning in. I mean, if you don't got nothing else to do on a Friday, thanks for tuning into this. Really appreciate that. And we should have Tim coming on in. Timmy B. My man Timmy B from Wild Acres Construction. Love this guy. I sent him an invite. So, yo, Luke, what's up, bro? Boom, Durate, how you doing, man? What's up, everyone? For those that are just tuning in, thanks for tuning in on a Friday night. It's Friday, then. Real Paint Talks PSC happening live tonight. Just waiting for our guests to come on in. I hope you guys are all doing well, and hope you guys had a great week. Not sure if anyone's working tomorrow, but if you're working tomorrow, Saturday's for the boys. Oh, but don't work too hard. If you got to work Sunday, don't work too hard on Sunday either. And Wild Acres was unable to join. Timmy B, I'm going to invite you back. Oh, shit, what a guest. Hell yeah, AAA. Hell yeah. You know what's up. Tim, I sent the invite. If you can just invite yourself too, possibly that might work as well, and maybe I can let you on in. And let's see, I'll try the invite again. Here we go. Off this weekend, boys. Yeah, Timmy B, my man.
Hey, look, when I walk into a room, you don't have to salute me, stand up.
What's up, man?
What's up, man?
How are you?
Just trying to get ready.
We're trying to get ready? You look ready, man. Look how handsome you are.
Huh?
I said, you look ready. Look how handsome you are.
Get it from my mom.
Yeah, we usually do. What's up, man? How are you?
Good. Can you see me good? Hear me good?
I can see you good. I can hear you good. Can everyone hear me as well? Can you hear me pretty good, Tim?
Yeah, you sound real good.
Excellent. That's my tenor. That's my tenor voice right there. Lemonade. How you doing, man? Are you just getting in? Thanks for doing this. I know we're super busy. I really appreciate you chiseling out some time, man. I really do appreciate that.
No, yeah, I all day at work, I'm like Chava, we got to be done at about 5. I got home. Danny's waiting on me, and then I had to go pick up my truck. I had new batteries put in, and it's good. Good.
That's good, man. That's good. Well, thanks again. I really appreciate that, dude.
Oh, man.
All right.
No,
well,
I appreciate you.
Yeah, of course, man. I told you, like I said, it's not just because you're a fantastic human being and I love chatting with you, but I also thought, you don't do just painting. You have your hand in what looks like a number of things. So I thought it'd be a really great, topic for combo, where it doesn't have to be just painting. I think there's a lot of guys out here too that aren't just doing solely one thing, and you look like you're doing pretty well. So I thought maybe I'd pick your brain and just chat and just shoot the shit on this Friday, man.
Yeah, no, man, go for it. I'm an open book.
Yeah. Well, why don't you just take a few minutes, brief introduction, just tell people if they don't know you, who you are, what you do, and yeah, and we'll go from there.
Cool. So I'm Tim Barco, boat in Spanish.
Spanish.
I live just east of Waco. I used to go to Waco a lot. That's where I started this company of mine. Primarily, all I did was drywall repair.
Oh, okay.
That was my side hustle for about 5-7 years. was all I did was repairs. And then I started doing painting. And then once I went full time, I did more painting, more drywall, more of the finishing drywall instead of just repairs. And then I wanted to get into kind of like carpentry. So I've been slowly getting into that more. So my company, Wild Acres, we offer full remodels down to repairing cracks on your walls.
Right. Nice.
Yeah, we do it all from the whole house to one patch. I'll bill you for the day and it'll look good. And
nice.
Yeah, that's the gist of it. My wife Callie, she does all my book work, anything with the computers. So that gives me a chance to focus more on the hands-on.
Nice. Booyah. Shout out to Callie. Hell yeah.
Oh, 100%. And we can talk more about her now or later. So.
We can do whatever you want, man. Because actually, I did have a few questions in there about that. But so does that really help you out? That keeps you free. That keeps you more in the field.
Yeah. She just said, "Hey."
Hey.
Yeah. So with her, like for today, an example. Today, we have a remodel of a kitchen coming up, and she met with the cabinet guy.
Nice.
So she was there dealing with them. And she also, again, anything with the computer, from the bids that we send out. We don't use a program. She's quicker. I think she may correct me, Excel or Word document.
Yeah, like a spreadsheet.
Yeah. Good. I've had some of my subcontractors comment on it. So that's worked. And she deals with, paying the subs, anything with the office. For example, yesterday, a new client wanted me to fill out paperwork for a direct deposit. And I'm like, call Callie. I don't do that.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what to tell you. I don't even know. I don't even have a debit card. Callie don't even let me hold the checkbook.
Oh, nice. Hey, man, to every business, there's always someone in the back that, like you said, I always refer to it like the iceberg. It's like you don't always see like the bottom half of the iceberg that's kind of sort of holding up that top half sometimes. You know what I mean? So I totally understand, man. Totally. That probably helps a lot. That's great. So you guys don't have any kids, eh?
No kids. Been married.
So do you guys, is it tough on your guys' kind of, not to be too personal, but on your personal life, you being self-employed? Like, what does she do full time?
Takes care of the office.
Beautiful. So that's actually quite great for you guys then, hey?
Yeah. She stopped working. I don't even know when she stopped working. I don't even know. She stopped working and now she does, like I said, all that. So I hear people talk about going to work all day, painting, doing work, and then coming home and having to work on the computer. So I think that's a job. Is that you?
Yeah. And I struggle with that sometimes because who wants to work all day? And then, there's still stuff around the house that I got to take care of sometimes. And then sit in the office and it's like, man, like sometimes I just want to kick up and chill. You know what I mean? So I try and just designate a day for that somewhere in there, but sometimes it doesn't always work out.
Right.
I need a Callie. You need a Callie.
I'm telling you, like I said, we've been married. We just completed 15 years.
Congratulations.
I appreciate it. We got married as kids. She keeps me around.
Really? Hey, as kid, I guess. Yeah. So what are you, like 34? I feel like I guessed your birthday one time. Didn't I guess your birthday one time?
8, the day I was born or something.
Oh, that was pretty crazy, right? Yeah, it was fucked up.
Yeah. That was a while back.
And that's another thing too, man. When I start thinking about people that I want to have on, it's hard because I don't want it to like turn into this like favorites type of thing, but I want it to be comfortable. And I want to talk with people, obviously, that I like. And yeah, we've been chatting for a long time now, man, and it's great. And then when I thought of you, I was like, oh man, I love Tim. Yeah, I can get him on here, man. Let's see if he's got the freaking. I bet you he's polishing the steel, man. I bet you I'm gonna come on. He's gonna be polishing the steel. I'm like,
let me.
What you got? What you got?
It is just to know I'm not.
You're not. Yeah.
Yeah, I have to work on it. Make sure it's good to go. Anyways,
Oh, that's awesome though, man. So that's great. So you have your wife that can really help you a lot.
yeah, 100% on
That's
that.
fantastic, man. So what's a day or a week in the life of Tim look like then? Once you got your coffee ready and you're out the door, like what's that look like? Are you kind of mostly just boom to site, or do you run in rounds, or are you kind of pre-production on most of that? Or is it kind of like doing more than one thing? Does it kind of have you running around sometimes?
I think I know I'm fortunate enough. My phone doesn't ring a lot.
Oh,
I'm
hallelujah.
given a lot of bids. When we started, like on this project we're doing right now, when the first day we start a remodel, those first week it's hectic because I'm coordinating with the subs, so I'm on the phone half the time. But once the project gets going, I'm swinging a hammer,
Oh,
right? I still do the drywall hanging, the finishing, the painting of the. We'll do some light framing, light trim, carpentry stuff. So I'm still like today. We showed up at 8. That's usually when we start at 8, and we started prepping cabinet doors. We had to do a little touch up on them, and we're just working. I took 1 or 2 phone calls about work, but I don't give out a lot of bids. I do the whole. I'm big on pre-qualifying people.
right.
Um,
So quickly, what do you mean by that?
I'll ask them. Hey, are you prepared to talk about the budget?
Gotcha.
Because if they're not prepared to talk about it, if they're not ready to spend 30,000, they're not going to be ready to spend 40,000 because they always want more than they first say. Right? It happens.
Yeah.
We're all like,
Yeah. Especially
so
with
that's
the
how.
reno game. Hey, there's probably unforeseen things that are coming, and it's like, hey, man, like this wasn't actually in the budget. We didn't know you had raccoons living in the attic and they tore everything
Right.
apart.
And all that is in our estimate, and sometimes it happens, but we put it on there. Hey, if something comes up that's not on the scope of work, we're going to stop and we're going to talk about it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. And that's a good point, though, Tim, because I think painting's definitely one thing, but doing like a full on renovation, even if it's in a piece of your house, there's a lot more that goes into that. So you're totally right. Like if you're not prepared to spend like this much, then yeah, you're probably not going to be prepared to spend, more. And it depends on the client too. Are you finding your clients where you are they good in terms of like, do you feel like they understand sort of the value of what they're getting? Are they kind of educated, or do you really have to kind of educate them to be like, hey, listen, like, because there's always cheaper, of course, right?
Right. With mine, and I don't know how it's. I'm sure there's some reason, or I don't know. I don't know how I got this clientele, but a lot of my clientels are self-employed business owners or what I call professionals, PhD,
Yep.
right?
Corporate
Stuff like
corporate
that.
world type people. Yeah.
Yeah, they've heard they got my name from a friend of theirs or family member, and so they obviously they already know what I charge.
Yep.
So
Yep.
you know,
I don't
so
know. I
that's
I kind of think it helps that you're a really good guy. You're easy to talk to. You're likable, and I think sometimes that's a big thing because being professional and looking good and all that, definitely. But I still think that sometimes guys might come off a little too like, oh, I'm here as a professional. Most of the side stuff I've done with clients, I've ended up becoming friends with them. But I think if you're more personable, it's almost like the word of mouth works better.
yeah, man. You got to be able to talk with people.
Yeah.
If you can't talk with somebody that has a PhD, and I'm not educated, but if you can't keep a conversation and just communicate with people or somebody, I'm not saying PhD, that's just probably a bad example, but you got to be able to talk with people. You have to read them, be respectful, but also I think be upfront. in a respectful way. That's helped me. So we talk about the budget, and I'll look at them. I was like, "Are you prepared to talk about it? Because it's going to get awkward."
Very true.
And a lot of I just look at them and tell them like that. And if they ask a question or two, I'll remind them, "Hey, I'm on a budget too. You know, I have people come work on my house too, or I'm on a budget too. So sometimes the budget doesn't fit that bid. So I have to save a little money because I want to get the best plumber in here because I don't want no headache."
Yeah. And you're a consumer, so you understand all that as well, right? So that's kind of what I remind people too, that it's educating the client kind of helps sometimes because we're all there. We've been there. We're there all the time, right? As a consumer as well, right? So yeah, I understand that for sure. So how do you go? So it's just word of mouth, eh? You don't do any advertising?
No. I have my trailer, you know, it's got the big wild acres on it, my car, box trailer, but no, it's weird, dude.
That's good, man. That's a good thing, dude.
And I'm not boasting or
no.
And I don't know. I couldn't tell you, oh, this is the way I did it. I just know what I do, and it's been working for those last couple of years. Omar just jumped on live. Omar does my flooring real quick.
Oh, is it Oric 19?
No, Eric. I'm sorry, Eric.
Oh yeah, Eric _19.
Yeah.
What's up, Eric?
I don't complain about his price when he gives it to me. I said, okay, but he better not charge too much.
Yeah, Eric, you listen, man. Price just went up.
Yeah, I'll tell you, him and his dad, they do killer work.
That's great, man.
My ADD.
Oh no, it's all good, man. We're kind of just free flowing. I was just saying, like, you don't have to advertise. You've done something. I mean, so are you kind of out in the countryside? Like, how many people are kind of in and around your area? Maybe demographic probably helps with that a little bit, of course, right?
I live between two towns, probably 5 to 7 miles between these two towns. One town has under 5,000. The other one has around 7,000.
Okay.
And then I live 40 minutes east of Waco. And Waco is it's a bigger town for Central Texas. You know, it's not Dallas, it's not Chicago, but it's a respectable, you know, they got the Baylor University,
right,
and other stuff. Just word of mouth. I don't know, man. It's silly.
It's that smile, man. Stop playing, man. It's that.
Seriously, there's mornings I wake up and I'm like, dude, I remember when I used to work at 9 to 5 and make like $12 an hour.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And now I make 13 an hour. But
said like a true self-employed person.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you have to travel like quite a bit, your commutes to and from work?
Yeah. So on this project, it's an hour and 15 minutes to get there. And that's going 75 miles an hour most of the time.
Wow.
It's yeah.
So it comes down to being productive with your time when you're there.
Yeah, you got to hit it hard.
Yeah.
Today was, man, I was really today was boom, boom, boom. We had a lot of little things to wrap up to get ready for Monday to put the kitchen cabinets together. The tile guys coming on Monday, so I had to be out of the restroom spraying. You got to hit it. But and then for lunch, we relax, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
How about he's Mexican? After lunch, you don't want to do nothing for 30 minutes.
Got siesta, that shit, man.
Relax.
Yeah, every time I see him, I always think of Al Borland. Like, have you seen Home Improvement? Tim Allen?
Yeah.
Yeah. I always feel like he's your, like, when you're like, yo, Chavo, hold this. He's looking at you. He's probably like, I don't think so, Tim. You know? That's great, though, man. So, I'm kind of in the same boat sometimes. Sometimes we gotta go kind of the outskirts of kind of town. And that can be, you know, half an hour to 40-minute commute. So you're doing a couple hours there and back through the day. So it's the same thing with me where I'm like, boys, let's not come here, drive 2 hours, work hard for 6 hours. And you're kind of like, I'm like, let's grind it. Like, I understand it's a far drive, and yeah, we're on a job right now where it's a little bit far, but just suck it up. Let's get it done. Cause it's going to just cost us more. And then eventually, with the bigger projects that we're doing, it becomes kind of mentally painstaking. Sometimes you're like, man, like it's been like 3 months. Like I would really like to get into something fresh. You know what I mean? So I totally feel you when it's like, yo, if there's like, hey,
you do huge homes, man.
well, I mean, they're fair size. I live in a 1,500 square foot house, but I mean, comparative to like, say, the States, yeah, they're still big, but like, man, Shaq lives in like a 60,000 square foot house.
Work for Shaq.
Like, I'm like, wow.
Dude, I've seen it. I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, there's a lot of oil money in Alberta. Right. I mean, some people might think maybe not right now because of the way things are going with the government and that, but there was a lot of oil money, Fort Mac. So there's a lot of, generational wealth. Like I tell people, that's like, like some of these families are building houses for like the whole family, So it's like, It's the dad, the son, the sister, maybe the auntie. It's like, it's just this generational wealth. And the builder that we work for, and I think at least I haven't got too much to different parts of the world, at least to see the trade side of things. But here, there's a pretty high standard for craftsmanship, and the builder that we work for, they're always putting that in there. It's always really nice, detailed. It's custom homes, right? If people are like, I want that to look like a leopard skin, you're like, that's what I want. And it's like, all right,
Now, I first found you on IG, I was like, man, that is nice. And I did not come from the trades. Like my parents, my dad, uncles, no, but I didn't know what I was doing, and I still halfway don't. I don't.
So did you go to school? Like, were you planning on taking a different direction?
Right after high school, I thought I wanted to be a mechanic. My parents are immigrants. I wish they would have said, "Hey, you could do this or this."
I feel you there. I totally feel you there.
Yeah, we've talked a little bit about that mentality. It's not a bash to my parents. We grew up super happy and everything, but I went to school to be a mechanic. I didn't like it. And so I'm like, I'm done. Yeah. And I need a job. I was like 20, 21. And an old family friend at that time was doing new drywall finishing. And so I was like, oh, I'm gonna go work for him. I didn't know what I was doing. The only spatula I was doing was on a cake icing.
Yeah.
Other than that, I didn't know nothing. And so I just started with that. He gave me a job, and I learned how to do a lot of work by hand. He wouldn't let me use the automatic tools and stuff.
I appreciate that actually a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Like I kind of feel like, it's
a lot of like coating corners and stuff, spotting nails. So I did that, and that's when I was introduced to doing construction, on a home.
Yeah.
And that's why I started doing drywall repair. I left when I got married. We moved to Waco. That's why I quit working for them, and I started just doing patches. I would just repair patches.
Yeah, that's great, man. So how old were you about then? Like I said, you look about 34. So you were like 50.
38, son.
Okay. Yeah, I was close.
Yeah.
So about 16, 17, 18, you're kind of jumping into it, getting your feet wet?
No, I was 21.
Oh, okay. That's why I'm a painter, because I can't do math.
No. Oh, I welded. Oh, yeah. Like before that, so Callie just reminded me.
Yeah, that office girl reminding you, remember, Tim, you welded, bro.
I needed a job. We got married. I didn't know what I wanted to do in life, and so I was 23 when we got married, and I just needed a job. And so I went to this place where they fabricated refineries, and they would ship it to Canada.
Oh, nice.
So we would build them in-house, and they would basically bolt them in place in Canada.
Okay.
So I did that for like 7 years.
Wow, that's a tough job too, man. I know a couple welders. It's a tough gig, man.
And it was a job. I didn't enjoy it. But I was doing my little side hustle, drywall repair.
Yeah.
On Saturday after work. Some days I hated it until I got, that little extra cash flow to go on vacation. And after I stopped welding, I wanted to be self-employed.
Yeah.
And at that point, I was doing a bunch of repairs. I felt really comfortable dealing with customers. I cut my teeth those 7 years as my side hustle. I think people want to jump into being self-employed right away. And I'm like, you didn't even put the time in.
Yeah.
Like, fail, and that is your means to pay your light bill. Like, do your little side hustle first.
Yeah. Yeah. I see why you're smirking.
Did you see Kathy's comment? And everything about Altima. You want to hear about the Altima?
Yeah, I do want to hear about in the back seat of the trunk of our Altima. I do want to hear that.
Oh man, we were so poor. We're still poor, but we were poorer than poor. And I needed to buy I needed an air compressor. And Callie's like, okay, let's go get at first Callie's like, what do you need an air compressor for? I'm like, babe, how am I gonna shoot the texture? Like blowing the hopper, like I need the air compressor to shoot texture. Because in Texas we texture everything.
Right.
But the dimensions needed to be just right to fit into the trunk of that Altima.
Gotcha.
It could be. And so we pull out that tape measure and we be measuring it.
Yo, bro, I, those are the things right there, though, that make me fall in love with my wife all over again, over and over and over again. Because that's the type of shit that's like your side right there, man. That's like that person that's like, you fucking got this. Whatever, we're gonna do this. You're gonna do it. Callie, boom.
I laugh. No, let me tell you what else you did to me. And I still laugh at this. 13, 14 years later, and it's a reality check at the time. So I told Callie, I need to get. So I started buying little tools. Right, I got the air compressor.
Yeah.
But I needed something to mix the mud, so I needed a drill. So I told Callie, I need to get a drill. And these are the specs I need to mix the mud.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, let's go shop for one. And I'm like, yeah, let me get some tools. And I'm thinking we're going to go to Home Depot or Lowe's. Guess where she took me to get my first drill?
Pawn shop?
Walmart.
Walmart? Did they have anything at Walmart?
They had, again, this was 08, 09. They had a Black & Decker corded ugly drill, right? That thing would die. I wanted to get a new one after a couple of years, but it wouldn't die.
It wouldn't die, hey?
I hated it.
Yo, props to Walmart. Damn.
I know that's Callie for you. She
Yo, man, honestly, that's a good freaking woman, man. No, I'm serious, because like I tip my hat to my wife on a daily, because she was 19 when she got pregnant. I was 20. Like almost like in your same situation as you, like just recently got into painting and realized like, okay, like either I figure out something else now or I'm running with this. And I just ran with it. But she supported me the whole way, man. She, even all the late nights and the, missing parties and soccer games and stuff like that. If I'm working weekends, she supported me 550%. And I do truly believe that me and you, we'd probably still be here. I'm trying to be gentle, but I do really think that it's a blessing to do it with somebody by your side, So
she was a champ when we talked about it. We're like, okay, I'm gonna go full-time self-employed. And I told her, I said, but I need to get a trailer to put my tools in.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go look for one. And I'm like, who is this woman?
Wow.
What? I can go get a trailer and I ain't going to Walmart this time.
Yeah, no. She's like, yeah, I already booked us an appointment at Walmart. And it's like, what? No. That's great though, man. That fantastic. Really, honestly, that almost seriously brings a tear to my eye because I can just remember when me and my wife were like, oh man,
Tell me a good story when y'all young,
oh,
not younger.
oh, dude, like there's just so many. Like
Tell me
I can just remember all the times. Like literally, Tim. Sometimes I would work for like 3 months straight, like literally every single weekend. And it would be funny because like I think when you're that young and you have, newborn babies and kids and stuff like that, I come home and my wife would be talking my ear off and talking it off. And then sometimes I'd kind of be like, yo, and then she'd be like, yo, I've been talking to a 2-year-old all day because she stayed at home, right? She's like, I need to have some like serious conversation here, So I couldn't even think of things like that your wife kind of did for you. It was more just she buckled down. She became a stay-at-home mom, an amazing mother, an amazing lover, wife, everything, and that helped me. Hey,
and piano player.
and piano player, absolutely, absolutely. And you know what? That helped me. Free me up, kind of like your wife helps free your time to do things that you need to do, right? And she did that for me. Still to this day, she's doing it for me because I'm like kind of a workaholic, right? So, she's the one that kind of gives me the balance, but also if I want to shoot for the moon, she's going to help me build the rocket to get me there. So, number one for sure.
Man, everybody's talking about their wives.
I wanted to do a segment on it, sort of, but it's tough because I think everyone's in so many different situations. Like, with you and your wife, you kind of look like you probably end up working more and seeing each other more than say me and my wife. My wife was spending so much time at home with the kids. I was gone so much. Okay.
Yeah, it's hard to. It's people ask me questions, and it's hard to compare me or my wife and I to other couples because we don't have kids.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine, man. I couldn't.
Yeah.
Man, if I was a boy to have kids, I would be like, I would freak out because, I would want to take care of them. I would want them to have, some comforts in life. I wouldn't spoil them, but I would be, I don't know how you did it.
Well, it's a tough one because it's like you're saying, Tim, it's like, my parents were immigrants as well, and they worked their butts off all the time. It didn't matter. Like, if it was like, oh, I want you to come see this, it's like, no, like we're working, So being self-employed was great for the sense that it's like, once I was more established, and it's like, sometimes I say to my kids, I'm like, my parents, like my dad didn't pick me up from school. Like, I get to pick you guys up. I have this stuff to be able to, a little bit of a means to, live a little different than my parents did. Right. Because at the same time, it's like, they just worked all the time. So I got caught in a little bit of a cycle where it's like, I don't want to be like my parents because I want my kids to, like, I want to be more involved in my kids' lives. But my dad also said to me, I had two options, Tim. Honestly, it was like the first day I started painting, I got a call for like the NMAX company. It's like the electricity company here. Right. Uh-huh. So it was like crossroads. I was like, I could take painting, or I could go work for like a company with benefits, like a full gym, like all the perks, right? And my dad said to me, he's like, think hard about this, man, because if you take the self-employed route, your whole life is going to be that. And he was right. Hey,
how old were you?
I was, well, when I started painting, I was about, 18, 19. Yeah, 19. And then it was literally a year later, my wife was pregnant. So it was like I did like about a year of production.
Boyd, let me get this timeline right. About to be a father, self-employed at 19, 20?
Okay, that not completely. So yes, she was pregnant. So just starting out painting, she got pregnant. I was making $17 an hour. So then I say to the guys I work with, like, shit, like my girlfriend's pregnant. Like, give me whatever you can if you have extra hours of this. So then they started subbing me out, priming out houses. That's kind of how I first started. And I was like, you know what? I'll open up my own little thing. So then while I'm painting by the hour, it's like you, I'm like, I'll do my side hustles if I can do side jobs and this and that. Because my goal for the future was always to just be able to have freedom and not be kind of always strapped to hourly or subcontract work. And finally, like 14, 15 years later, I finally got out of the sub game. So now it's kind of, you know, I'm kind of free sort of to do whatever the hell I want. But when we were younger, it was like, take whatever you can get, do it. Sorry, honey, I got to work this Saturday. Oh, it's like, you know, this or that. We're going to go this. Like, she went on so many hikes without me. There's so many pictures without me in it. So I get a little bit of regret because it's like you can never buy that time back. There's always time to make money.
Right.
But you know how it is, Tim. I wanted my kids to have a little more than what I had when I was younger, because even though my parents worked all the time, they still didn't do that great, right? So it's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a tough spot. I was stressing the fuck out, dude. It was bad. It was scary, man. That's why I'm bald, I think.
I could have had the kids is what
scary, bro. And then think about it like this. You know, you have one kid, you're like, okay, perfect, we could do this. And then you plan to have another kid, and you're like, oh, like shit, like we're planning to like bring a child to this world? Okay. Damn, that was even scarier in my opinion. Because it was like, oh, we're gonna add another one here. Okay, wow. But
you know, I kind of had that same dilemma not like a year and a half ago when I picked up our second dog. Kind of same thing, right?
yeah, kind of, yeah, for sure. But yeah, so everything worked out great. I can't complain. But as you know, we had to work our butts off. And, you know, we had a nice rock to help support us as foundation. So I tip my hat to my wife all the time. I wouldn't be able to do it. And I think that if I didn't have her, I would probably work so much that it would turn me into somebody I didn't want to be.
Oh, yeah.
So.
You do your books now and computer stuff.
Well, so my wife is...
You want me to talk to her?
Well, no, it's not that. She's more such... She's more on the artsy side. Like she loves fashion, she loves art, she loves music. So many times we've tried, and then sometimes she's just kind of like, well, I think it's more me. I'm like fucking OCD to the max. So it's like, right? So I've tried, but I don't know. I don't know. She's working part-time now because the kids are they're in school now, you know, they're getting older, they're getting more independent. So now, Tim, I'm kind of more like, hey, baby cakes, like, go find something that you want to go back to school. You want to do this. You want to do that. Now's your time. Do whatever you want. I will support you now. You know, like now's the time where I'm okay a little bit to like not work, but I don't have to work 3 months straight anymore. So now I'm like, hey, like, let's work whatever you want to do. Right.
That was my goal. Maybe I never said it to Callie, but I didn't want her to work. And I think probably that's the Mexican side of me because like a lot of my sister-in-laws don't work. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I didn't really want my kids to be babysat or daycared. Like I come from like Italian roots too. Like my mother, none is Italian. So it's like, what? Like, no, you're not going to put these kids, but yeah, what the fuck you mean? So it's not that we could really, like we struggled, you know, for Lindsay to stay home. We struggled. Maybe she didn't see it as much as I showed her, but we struggled. But I wanted that better for the kids, you know, at least in my opinion.
No, I think you're one. I don't even have kids, and I would be like, that makes sense.
It definitely does, man. So, but you know, I don't know. So you said something before. I wanted to ask you a question, but I didn't want to cut you off. So,
go ahead.
And because you kind of jumped into this, like you said, like just like me, you needed a job and stuff like that. Do you truly love what you do in the sense of like all of it, or do you just love being self-employed? Or is there something in there that like, no, man, I love mudding and taping?
Let me tell you what. I'm going to offend some people.
No, I want to hear the truth because honestly, I kind of feel like, yeah, go ahead. I want to hear it. Yeah, I'm gonna guess again in my head like I did your birthday.
When somebody tells me they love to paint, or they love to do this, I'm like, do you not have a life? Like, if I didn't have to work, I would not work. You know
I
what?
love painting.
Hey, yeah, go paint, you loser. No, no, I enjoy more the freedom of
Yeah.
being self 100%. And but I had to do sacrifices, right? Sometimes if I'm not working, I'm not making a dollar.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's 100% it's the freedom to do what I really want to do, right? In my personal life and hobbies. But I very much enjoy what I do. Like I really like it. I really enjoy it. Do I love it? Maybe like a little, but I'm not not to the extent of some people where they talk about how much they love their job. I don't. If I didn't have to, if I didn't, I came home the other day and my Callie said my spray hand was strong that day because I had paint. You know, I was painting inside of boxes, and I'm like, if I didn't have to have paint all over me, all over my nails and stuff,
Yeah.
nah.
Yeah.
But I'm not. You know, that's basically it. Freedom.
Yeah, and the reason I asked that is because that's kind of what I thought. I could sense that from you only because you're such a happy, like I can tell that you would rather be working to make money to do things that make you happy with your free time. And I think some people get so caught up in working because they're like, I have to fucking work. So they're just working. And then maybe it turns into like, well, I really love this. And it's like, well, don't just tell yourself that because you got to get through this, right? But I mean, I love painting, but it doesn't revolve around my whole life. I love music. I love it a lot. And now that the coronavirus is kind of whatever is happening with it, now things are opening up. So now my brain starts to tick again where I'm like, yeah, I got to get back into music. You know, I can't wait to get back into music. I do love painting, but I think that I was more just like, for one, I love painting. I'm an artsy fartsy kind of guy. But I think if you love something at least a little bit, I personally think it'll help you make more money doing it. That's just what I think.
Yeah, and I think you have to enjoy it. Like and that's what I'm saying. I enjoy doing what I do. Do I enjoy painting more than hunting? No, I'd rather hunt every day. If I could hunt every day and get paid for it, or fish every day, or do some of my personal stuff with Callie, you know, our own personal stuff, I would rather do that.
Well, shit, I'm going to ask you one of these questions early then. Like, if you weren't doing this and you could maybe not even, well, okay, if you could start a different company or a different kind of hustle, what would it be? And if it's not working, what would you rather be doing?
Selling cocaine.
Oh, shit. Barco. The Barco files. That's not paint on your fingernails.
That's about, for some reason, that's been my ongoing joke for the last month.
Selling coke. Selling coke. Hey, man, you know, some of those guys, you know, if they would just take some of those systems of selling drugs, they'd probably be pretty good business owners.
Oh, if I didn't do what I'm doing.
Okay, let's start. Like, what about another job? Like, what if you didn't have to do that? What would you do for work? Like, what would be like a dream job for you?
Probably something to do with wildlife.
Yeah,
like a hunting guide. Yeah, something with that, because like I like people for half the time. I'm that little mix of introvert, extrovert, leave me alone half the time. But the other half time, enjoy people. So I think, you know, taking people on guided hunts or guided fishing trips.
That'd be sweet.
I think that's what I would do.
That'd be really cool. Yeah.
Or a fireman.
Really?
My parents, I've told this to young people. If my dad or mom would have said, you know what about a fireman? I'm like, I think I would be a fireman. I think if I had just like a 9 to 5, you know, just working for someone, a fireman, because I don't know, maybe it's the same up there. But like here in Texas, they're on so many days and they're off so
Yeah,
many
it's the
days.
same. Yeah, yeah.
Is it the same?
And actually, in some of the smaller towns too, they actually have like on-call volunteers because it's kind of such a small
Yeah,
town that these
we
guys still hold like full-time jobs, and then as soon as it's like, oh shit, like I gotta go because like there's a
yeah
fire.
we. I would. I think if I just had to do a regular job, I'd like to be a fireman.
Yeah, that's sweet. Yo, you ever watch those fireman races?
No, like I didn't, but I don't think about it that much. But I do think I would be a fireman.
Well,
I don't
well,
have.
well. Now, if you ever think about it one day, you're like, yeah, I would like that. Check out some of those fireman races. It's kind of like the lumberjack kind of
Okay,
competitions, same type of thing. Yeah, yeah, they're cool, man.
that way I could do drywall on the side
That's what you
or go
do. Yeah.
go fishing on my days off or
Oh, that'd
hunting
be
or.
sweet, man. I love fishing. I really do. I have a little 12-foot aluminum boat that I'll take sometimes. I haven't taken it out in a while, but yeah, I love to fish. Definitely.
That's where I'd be at.
Yeah, yeah, it is definitely, man, definitely. So what are you into right now? You guys are on a cabinet job. Is it just cabinets you're doing right now? Or are you guys kind of in a reno or?
It's a full gut remodel of a kitchen and a restroom.
Oh, okay, nice.
Went down to the studs, and right now we are painting the cabinets. And so Monday we'll put them back together. The doors will go back up, and the tile for the shower will start. And that'll start Monday. On Tuesday, we won't be there the rest of the week. We're
Yeah.
gonna go to another to do drywall repair.
So you guys fairly busy? Like you got a couple jobs lined up, kind of
And
swamped? You needed. Sorry, is it Chavo? Is it Chavo?
Chava,
Chava. You need another Chava. It sounds like. Is it just you two?
it's just us.
Oh man.
But I've learned to pump the brakes. So right now, I just this week, I decided to turn down a job where I was going to bid it, and it was pretty much mine. Not to sound haughty or nothing, but they're like, "Yeah, we want to give you the job," and I was going to put the proposal together, and I just emailed them. I was like, "No, I can't bid it. I'm too swamped." Because I would have put them out probably 3 months.
Right. That's what I was going to ask. Do you kind of pre-book down the road, or has that become
Yeah,
problematic?
I only so far.
Yeah.
Um, stuff changes. Diesel prices go up. Like on this job, I'm paying $1 something more a gallon, and I'm running. My fuel bill is a lot, and because we're so far, I give Chava a gas allowance. Also, if I would have known diesel prices was that high when I bid this job, I would have, obviously gone up more.
Yep.
But I got to eat it, and it's not, it's not the end of the world, But that's I don't bid that far, and then because it's like on the back of your mind. Nico Interiors, we've talked about this. It's like I got all this work, and then why would their problems be my problems? So I just be like, no, I'm not going to bid it.
Right. Right. So is there any advice you could give to people that are maybe kind of going that route? Like, why is it that you just, because it's like you could still probably take it, right? So I think it comes down to like, what is it? Maybe I'm getting a little too personal here, but what is it that makes you be like, nah? Is it because you're good, or is it because it's too stressful, or is it just easier to manage? Do you believe that it's easier to make, or it's not easier, but do you think you make more money if you just concentrate on one than doing, say, two or three?
So I'll kind of break that down. Because of my location, where I live, if all I did was drywall or just painting, I don't think I could make a living.
Really?
That call me, they want me to do, if not do it hands on, to be over it, to be the contractor.
Right. Right. It's
And
probably
so,
because the distance, it probably just saves a hell of a lot of time having one guy than having to deal with like 15, right?
yeah. And so if they want to do the repairs of their drywall and then paint it, boom, we're hands on.
Yeah.
If we're going to do a remodel, we're hands on in those areas, but we're subbing out other stuff. And then when we have downtime, we're bringing in some of those smaller jobs. And we could talk a little bit more. I'm a big believer the smaller jobs make more money than bigger jobs.
All right.
In my
Let's talk about that for a second. So why do you think, and do you think that there's specifics to those small jobs that can help you make more, or can there really be like duds in the small jobs where you're like, fuck that totally, like I thought it would be better? Like, do you think there's sort of a formula in there somehow?
I think people, different contractors or different painters, you name it, they'll turn down those smaller jobs where the homeowner, the client, can't find anybody. So I walk in, I'm going to give them a really good work, be professional, and then give them a really good experience.
Mm-hmm.
Pay me more for all. They're going to pay me for what I'm worth, right?
Right.
And if I'm there one day, it's boom, we're done. I get a check, less headaches. Headaches is probably 30% of, you know what I mean, part of the bill.
Yeah.
Out that those are, yeah.
So what I'm curious of too, though, is do you think that it can be a pain in the ass? Like, okay, actually what I'm trying to say is, so do you raise the price a little bit if it's one or two small jobs when you're traveling so much? Or is it still, this is what you're getting, just try and cram them off real good? Or do you kind of, because for me, I'm a little bit of the opposite, because some of the stuff we do so big that we need to take care of that and we have to have our attention there, that sometimes when it's something smaller, I either say no or I jack up the price because I have to come. But then it's like, you know, as a consumer, you're like, well, the job is so small. Like, how can you charge me this much for it? And I'm like, well, so like, what do you think about that?
I tell them, it costs me so much a day to have Chava with me. And I got expenses where I have to cover those and I have to make a profit. I have to pay my light bill at the end of the month. You know, and if they don't want it, hey, boom, I'm not going to waste my time giving you a proposal, and we're moving on.
Yeah.
And I'm not a jerk about it though. Right? I'm super respectful. Matter of fact, I'll wish them, hey, I hope your project goes well.
Yeah.
Because I do. I don't, you know, somebody's going to pick that up.
Well, it's just business, right? Like you're saying, it's nothing personal. It's just business. Yeah. And you have a way of running your business that, you know, you can't just like, so I guess my next question is, do you sometimes give out deals for the smaller jobs, or do you give out deals period? Cause I kind of found that the busier I get, I feel like I could give out more deals, but then it becomes that catch-22 where it's like, well, I'm so freaking busy that I can't really get there to paint 2 walls. Right. So it's like tough. Like if someone says, well, you know, it's just like 2 walls. Like, can you give me a deal? Like, do you say to them, well, listen, I can't really, because I'm so busy that I can't.
Yeah. It's going to go back to, again, the clientele I have that I don't know how I got it. The people that are calling me are not asking that those words don't come out.
Gotcha.
And I don't, it's not a boasting or whatever.
No.
It's just not coming out. And going back a little bit, if we could just back up, talking about, you know, doing multiple trades. What was part of that other question? I was thinking, because of my location, I have to do multiple trades.
Well, I was saying, like, is it easier sometimes for your clients to just like, of course they see you, okay, this guy kind of can do multiple things, as opposed to homeowners having to call multiple trades themselves, right?
Benefit to them. They're winning when they're dealing with one person that can repair it, paint it. They're winning, or somebody that could coordinate it. they're dealing with one person. So my clients, for example, on this job, there was a leak, and it's not a jab to my plumber. It was just a little loose, and it was just kind of leaking a little bit. It wasn't a big thing. They called me on the spot. Boom, hey, it's leaking. I said, put a bucket under there. It'll be taken care of when the
Yeah.
next day or whatever. And it was. They're dealing with one person.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they want that. My clients, get business owners, professional, just that clientele. They don't want headaches, and then they don't want headaches in their business, and they don't want headaches at their house.
No, you know what? A tile guy said this to me, and it's become my new saying. People don't want excuses; they want solutions. And
Yeah.
I like live by that now because it's true. It's like even though you're like even if it's something that pisses you off, even if it's like something that's not your fault, maybe it's somebody else's fault. Majority of us are probably going to be like, man, like what the fuck, you know. But I've really changed over the years to just be more just like, okay, we're in this together, right? Hopefully, hopefully it's all people you know. Which kind of made me think about my next question because you said you subcontract too, right? So you have subs. So what do you look for when hiring subs or workers? Like what qualities do you kind of look for, and how? Because I'm so scared to hire subs, but that's just me. I haven't really dabbled too much in it. But like, what kind of advice could you give if someone's trying to do that? Like, what are the qualities you want to try and look for, you think?
Oh man, I haven't hired a new sub in forever.
Boom. Well, that's a great thing right there, right?
Eric, the floor guy, was the last new sub I picked up.
Nice.
Well, let me tell you what I like about the subs that are on my job, and maybe they can take it like that. Being able to talk with the customer.
So client relation.
Right? When you get out of that vehicle, when you pull up to the front door, don't pitch that cigarette in the yard or get that snuff out of your mouth or farmer blow. I'm not saying you need to have your shirt tucked in, but you gotta look respectful, and then you have to treat the customer respectful, and then man, you gotta do nice work. You gotta going back to the plumber. Eric, his name's Eric also, and it's not a jab towards him. So just in case he's watching, he showed up, fixed that repair. He goes, "Oh yeah, this happened. Yeah, don't worry." Boom, boom, knocked it out.
Perfect.
And he had to pull off another job to come because he knows it's leaking and needs it right now.
Yeah. So would you hire someone if they were really good but still lacked on customer relation skills? Like would you let that sacrifice slide in your business a little bit just to keep the quality there?
If I did, I would have to oversee them more. I would have to be there.
Yeah.
And someone would pay for that.
Yeah. You're absolutely
right. Either or the sub.
Yeah.
Like if I be there, because sometimes I'm not there. And that's what's really nice with the subs I have is I trust them 100%.
Yeah. Well, you have to, man, because you don't always want to be there. What's the point of having these guys as subs to take on responsibility if you got to babysit them, right?
Yeah. So if you got a sub that does really good work, you trust his work. Callie's commenting she really loves our subs. Yeah, the subs. We're friends most of the time. We're just friends.
Yeah.
If a sub did really good work, someone would have to pay for my time to oversee that sub. So when a hiccup showed up throughout the day, I would deal with the customer, not them.
Right.
And they would have to determine who's going to pay you to sit there.
Gotcha. Yeah. Are you finding it tough I should say as a whole, is the trade industry in your area kind of struggling to find labor? It's really tough here. How is it over there?
Yeah. People, even my subs need workers.
Yeah.
I have multiple friends that are in construction, and some by accident try to pick off Chava, try to steal Chava from me. Uh, yeah, no, but you know,
Well, I don't think he's gonna want to go anywhere. He kind of looks like he really likes where he is, and he doesn't even say much or do much. But every time I see you guys together as a duo, I'm like, man, I gotta get fucking. I want to work for Tim. No, serious, dude. I'm like, because it's here. It's not like we can't do a lot of work outside. Like I love it when I'm on Instagram and I see guys that have like doors set up. They're outside. They're in the sun. They're sanding. They're doing this or that. That's the type of shit that I'm like, man, like I wish we were doing that. You know what I mean? We're inside all the time, and the weather here is like not the best. So, I see you guys, and I'm like, man, yeah, I could use some tacos, and I'd help them load the drywall on the trailer. I'd be down.
no, yeah, Chava. You want me to tell you about Chava? It happened by
I
accident.
do.
Uh,
Because I didn't see him all the time in your story, so he's fresh a little bit, hey?
yeah, I've known Chava for 20 years, maybe.
Oh wow.
And at first I didn't know him that much. Family, family friends, how. And a while back, I don't forget how long he's been working for us now. But a while back, it's a cool story. And I'll say this before I go into it. If you want to be self-employed, you can't be a sucky employee. If you suck at
fucking man,
you will not be a good self-employed. You're lazy. I mean, and that's my little rant. Well, Chava was working at this company as a welder for 10 years. And one day he got upset, and his wife just joined, and he told me he got upset. He just quit. And I'm done. Walked out.
That's it, eh?
I'm out. Chumped the dudes. Chava gangster though. I'd hate to get punched. And so worked for another friend of ours, and I needed help, so I called my friend. I say, and this friend of mine, Polo, he's helped me before. I subbed out some work to him. Just a good dude. And he hired Chava for a little bit. And so they came to my project, helped me. And then one day Chava didn't have nothing, but I needed help. And anyway, it just kind of worked out, even though what happened. And he just stuck around like a lost puppy.
It's like that universe, man. And is he like you guys look like you're doing great, man.
Yeah,
like I seen the piece of wood on the spray hand.
You like that?
I do like that.
He kept doing this. I'm like, what are you doing? And I have to be careful because he is older than me. So I do have to respect him, right? And so I can't talk to him like an 18-year-old.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's a tough one, man. I work for a guy, same thing. I was on the spray crew. The guy, his dad owned the company. He was running the crew. He was so much younger than probably 80% of the people that work for him. And I could tell sometimes that these guys just want to be like, yo, what the fuck, kid? Like,
yeah.
That's a tough spot to be in sometimes, though, Tim, because it's so, I guess, great spot for a question. Like, how do you deal with that? Like, do you think it's because, like, I have my brother that works with me and I have my buddy that I've known for over 25 years. And it's a very hard line to walk sometimes where it's like, yo, man, like, I understand we're buddies and I understand we're brothers, but don't fuck around.
Yeah. And his wife is listening, and I've told Chava this. It's like, I'll tell him, hey, man, if I'm explaining something, it's not just because I want to hear myself talk.
Yeah.
I have done it this way, and it's harder than if you do it this way. Like I've done it that way, and I ran with it, but it's easier if you do it this way. And sometimes I let him do it wrong. We were doing the second coat on nails with the that red glazing stuff. Yeah. And I told him probably 5 times, Chava, you're putting too much. You're putting too much. I mean, you're just covering the hole. And I finally just stopped telling him. I said, okay, Chava, now we got to sand it off.
Yeah, you're sanding it now.
And I'm like, Now you know I kept telling you you're putting too much, and then it was like, okay, now I know.
Yep.
And sometimes you just gotta let them do it wrong and be like, I try to tell you.
You do, man. You definitely do. And I think that's a little thing that I think a lot of people are even doing on social media, right? It's like a little bit like, hey, man, like I understand that maybe you want to somehow feel relevant, maybe because of your lack of experience, maybe you haven't been there that long. Maybe you come out and you see this whole community and you're like, oh, I want to be a part of something. But I just want to say this for everyone that's watching. Not all the systems are broken. So why are there so many people trying to reinvent the wheel? That's why, like you said, like the old school way, like when Buddy, he made you learn like without the fucking fancy tools. Cause that's me too.
Yeah.
I'm like saying, I'm like, yo, like learn it this way first. Cause this is kind of like the roots. And then if you think you can make it better, great. But if you don't make it better, I'm going to fucking tell you I told you so. Because like you said, I've been doing this. Like you said, I'm not just telling you this because I want to hear myself talk. You're wasting my time here.
I'm like, Chava, you think I just want to hear myself talk? I don't want to hear myself talk.
Yeah.
The whole wrist thing, going back to it, I taped.
I seen that.
Him. And I told him, I said, Chava, stop breaking your wrist. And you could see it I was letting him prime the inside of the cabinets.
Yep.
I'm thinking, you know what, if he messes up, it's not a big deal. And you could see where he would, swipe, where it would be heavier. You see that? But he kept doing it. I said, Chava, you do it one more time, I'm going to tape a stick on your wrist. And he did it again. And so I just grabbed that shim, taped it. And it probably took him 5 minutes. Maybe 8, and we finished what we were doing. Yep. And then tried again, and he hasn't broken that wrist since then. He picked it up real quick.
That's great, man. I find that a little hard sometimes. I'm the type of guy that I'm always like, fuck, man, I don't want to tell people something that I feel like they should already know, for one. And I'm not saying this about Chava, but I'm just in my experiences. Yeah. And then my wife, if she's watching right now, she thinks I'm a little bit of a pushover, and she's probably going to be like, great. But it's tough because I'm like that in the middle. It's like, I don't have like too much patience to tell you the 5th time. So finally I'm either like, get lost, or fuck it, I'll do it myself. So like, how do you deal with that sometimes? Because I see like you're pretty professional. Like you even said, like with your clients, like sometimes you just got to look at them straight in the face and be like, yo, we talking about budget.
Yeah.
So like for me, that's kind of hard sometimes with my workers. My workers are very happy, but maybe sometimes maybe they're too happy. They got it too good, right?
Yeah.
Because like you say, Chava, he's older than you for one. He's probably got more life experience than you.
Oh, and Chava, let me tell you what helps Chava out. And I've said this to people in my personal life. If you know how to work with your hands,
yeah.
So he was welding, fabricating. If you can work with your hands, hand-eye coordination, read a tape measure, you can do a lot of stuff in life. You can
agree.
pick it up. You can pick it up 1%. So that's what helps me with him. He Oh, Callie was just saying something. Tim what? Tim's the man?
Tim's the man?
Yeah.
She's probably going to bring you a charcuterie board.
Oh, that would be nice.
Oh, yo, Callie, I think Tim needs a charcuterie board.
Yeah. That's what helps me. I don't have to explain to him. I can show him something, and he can pick it up.
That's great.
Like, Chava is a smart guy. And he's going to make it whether he works for me or he goes somewhere else. I'd rather him work for me. So I will give him that airless gun. I'm like, hey, I threw it on him. I was like, here, let's try it. And he's spraying, he's doing the wrist thing. We fixed that. And he's doing really good. He sometimes he'll do something and I'll be like, no, man, do it like this because of this. I've learned if you give, let's say you correct someone and you tell them why it needs to be this way, they take it better. So it's not just because I want to hear myself talk.
Absolutely. Yeah. I kind of feel that way because that's sometimes because sometimes when my wife tells me, well, you're a little bit of a pushover, I say to her, I'm like, well, I kind of got to think of my employees sort of like my kids. Like, you don't want to bash their spirit. You want to teach them a lesson in a constructive way and explain the whys, like you said. So I kind of treat my workers like that. But you know how it is. You give them an inch, sometimes they take a foot, right? So it's a tough one. But I just seen Callie said one time he made an 18-year-old guy that was working for you read his text messages out loud. Dude, now that is good.
But tell you what, if like we have, phones are just a part of our lives now.
So quickly before you continue, do you have a no phone policy and no headphone policy?
No, I have if you're not doing something loud, take one of those earbuds out.
Gotcha. So
yelling at you for 5 minutes to do this or this. But if we're sanding,
yep.
Loud, put both of them in. No, we'll blast music. I'll tell the client, hey, if our music's too loud, maybe we're doing something, we want to listen to some music together. I'll hey, just tell us the music's too loud. And we will play Mexican music as much as we can to give our clients a show.
Nice. Quick sidebar on that. Have you ever heard of Mariachi El Bronx?
That sounds very hipsterish. We don't.
Well, it's a band from New York who wrote an album with a mariachi band. Check it out. It's kind of a cool flavor. You might enjoy some of the tunes. It's in English, and the guy definitely sounds white, but it's like a full mariachi band, dude. It's wicked. It's called Mariachi El Bronx. And look up Meaning of Life. That's a good one. Yeah. Just look up. I'll send you a couple songs. But they're like, dude, me too. When I heard it, I was like, whoa, this is like, what? This is awesome. Like full mariachi band. And when Buddy started singing, I was like, what the hell? This is rad. Yeah. But either way, back to making the kid read the text messages out loud.
Oh, yeah. This was my first helper employee kind of thing. And Edward is my little brother's brother-in-law.
Okay.
So he was much younger than me at the time. I think he was probably like 18. And we're still friends. Everything. Pretty much family. We shared nieces and nephews.
Oh, wow.
And he would be on his phone all the time. And I finally was like, Edward, dude, you're on your phone all the time. I said, from now on, when I catch you on the phone, you're going to have to tell me who you're texting and what you're texting about. You're going to have to show me. So if you feel that you need to answer that phone call or reply to that text, because it may be an emergency.
Absolutely.
Right? We have a life. Okay. And so I think I caught him like 1 or 2 times after that.
Hopefully he wasn't texting his mom. Hey, Mom, do you think you could put my boxers in the laundry for me?
He goes, oh, I was texting my mom. She wanted a da-da-da-da-da. Okay. Because, like if Chava needs to get on the phone, talk to his wife, get on the phone.
Yeah. No, I feel you. Definitely, man.
He's a grown man. He's got kids. But also Chava, when it's time to go, he's not on the phone. He's working. We're getting it. But when he needs to be on the phone, like, I don't care. Like, go outside, out loud,
Yeah.
I think they have to be balanced, and we have to be balanced with that.
Absolutely. That's what I was going to say. I'm the same. I let them go outside and stuff like that. I'm really big on the headphone thing. Like I let them do one headphone. It still drives me a little crazy when they do 2 headphones and I'm calling for someone and they don't hear me.
Chava, take that, and I'll yell at him. Chava, take that earbud out. Like, put it away.
Dude, I start fucking with them. I'll be like, help, man down. And all of a sudden it's like, come around the corner like, yo, what's going on? And I was like, dude, I've been fucking calling you for like 10 minutes. What if I was actually hurt? I could have bled out already, man. I'd be dead.
You hear that? I hope he's listening. He's listening. Yeah, the one ear thing. That's probably my one, like non-work, non-skill pet peeve kind of thing.
But even with the one, I still feel like sometimes when I look at them and they're like, we're talking, even with the one headphone in, sometimes I have to be like, yo, are you like, did you push pause? Oh, yeah. And I'm like, okay. And then we talk, and then I'm like, I can tell it doesn't feel like it's registering. I'm like, yo, did you get all that? Yeah. And then you go and you're like,
repeat it.
Yeah, that's a good point, man. I don't really do that. And I probably should, like, yeah, tell me what I fucking said. Now. You're probably right about that, man. Definitely. I think technology is just getting in the way a little bit.
Yeah, but I'm big on audiobooks, podcasts.
Me too.
If you haven't heard this one podcast called Top Line on Spotify, go check them out.
Okay, I'll check it, definitely. Yeah. I heard he's very handsome.
And sexy bastard.
Bald. Cool.
Yeah, so I think now music, something in your ear is part of it. So it makes work more enjoyable. I know it does for me, so I know it will for somebody else. But if it's not loud, if you're not running a sander, pop that thing off. So if I yell at you across the house or whatever, you can hear me.
That's my biggest thing. I just want you to hear me. And not even that. If there's other trades around too, it's like someone could need help. You know, you don't want to look like that idiot where the paramedic's tapping you on the shoulder because you're still on the ladder standing, have all this fucking shit's been going on, and you're still. I'm like, yo, man.
I had a young dude helping me for a little bit, and he fell off the ladder, and I don't think I had anything in my ear, and I don't think my other friend had anything in his ear at the time, but he fell off a 6-foot ladder. Don't ask me how, because I asked him. He didn't know how he fell. But we were there. We ran there right away. We're like, hey, are you, because, you know, you're concerned about that. Yeah. Like, you okay? You know. But if you would have had 2 earbuds in, you wouldn't have heard them, and the person would have just been laying there.
Yeah. No, totally, man. Totally. So do you think the internet and social media and all this stuff, do you think as humans it's more of a distraction? Because I talk about this with guys all the time. I feel like that we are getting a lot smarter. You know, we're capable of doing stuff. Like, I listen to a lot of Elon Musk. He's kind of my guy. But he's always saying, like, you know, we have like the means in our fucking hand to be brilliant. You know what I mean? But do you think it's a bit of too much of a distraction? Do you think humans need to kind of go back to the olden days where you're talking more, you're sharing, you know, conversation with people while you're working? Nowadays, it drives me crazy. All my guys I look in, except for the one guy, he doesn't wear headphones at all. He's not like that. But it's like we're all working and there's silence. We're all standing beside each other and no one says shit.
Usually if Chava and I are really close, you know, we're doing something, we're chit-chatting about something. And yeah, I think the whole earbud in the ear, maybe too much info, too much opinion, too much
going on.
Yeah, like, get back to basics. Too much opinion about which paint you should use. Callie said, depends if yeah.
Hey man, I feel like I can't really look hard at the internet in the morning anymore. Sometimes I'm just like, what the fuck is happening out there? And it's like, let's just get back to the basics here for a minute. I think it was Brett Praise that said in one of his videos, like, come on guys, this isn't fucking rocket science. Like, this is painting. Once you got it, we're there. Just do it. Let's just keep going. You know what I mean? Because it's like, it's the same thing. It's always, you know, there's something new. There's something better. There's something this. There's something that. Let's fix the wheel. Let's fix the wheel again. Oh, we're fixing the wheel again. It just gets tiring sometimes, you know, and I'm trying to tell that to my guys. And it's not even just social media. It's even like music. Like my brother, he's like, how can you work all day and not listen to a single piece of music? I can do that. I could drive all day with no music on in the car.
Sometimes I'll challenge myself, like, leave the radio off, and I'll just Cash will be sitting in the passenger seat looking like a human. And I'll just be driving.
I love it. Like I get a lot of my like a lot of stuff done with deep thinking. You know what I mean? But I guess my point is that I don't think some people can, even though they're like, no, man, I'm good. It's like, how can you listen to music and focus on something? Like, could you, like, people who study and listen to music, I'm like, how the hell do you do that? Like,
oh, I don't. You're right. So I told you I like to listen to books.
Yeah.
I will turn it off because while I'm working, I just missed half a chapter.
Yo, like, dude, I'm exactly the same.
I'm like, I just missed who died?
Exactly. What you mean? This guy's name is freaking this? I didn't even know. Yeah, I feel you, man. So that's what I was telling to my one buddy. I was like, I have to, because I think if you, obviously it's probably like, you know, some sort of science, but if you read it, you're probably going to register it, soak it in better. Like a lot of the podcasts I listen to, I find exactly like you're saying, I'm working away, I'm thinking about what I'm doing, I'm concentrating. Like you said, 2 chapters go by. I'm like, man, now I got to listen to this again. So I listened to a lot of them again.
Yeah. I started a new book the other day, and on this job, because this past week we're working on cabinets, so we're sanding kind of thing. And I'm like, I can't start the book, or I can't push play because I'm not even gonna I'm more worried about what this stupid little corner of this crown don't look right.
No, I feel like I like the audiobooks more when I'm driving. Like if I have something on, then it's because I can focus, I can concentrate on it. But if I'm going hard, grinding, sanding, if I have headphones in, I'll play some light music. But dude, like I can't put 2 headphones in. I have to be I have to be like laying in my bed with my eyes closed to kind of have both my headphones in, because sometimes I feel like even if I'm like working, like I can't have both headphones in blasting. If I'm like locked in my shop by myself and I'm like, okay, I got 3 hours of sanding, okay, I can pop them in full blast, away I go. But when I'm on site and stuff, even if I'm solely working, I can't do 2 headphones.
I don't know how I can't. I will blast them when it's spray time. The music's on, and I'm just in the zone.
Yeah.
You know, the hands just moving. I can't walk around even with one on or one in. Mm-hmm. I don't know how to walk around with, they're just hanging there. I'm just like, get that out.
Yeah.
I'm the oldest 38-year-old person.
Dude, no, you're not, because my brother, I'm like, dude, do you listen? He listens, seriously, Tim, he listens to music all fucking day. Like there isn't a break, Tim. Seriously, he just turns it down.
No, I'll if let's say I'm working and I got both in, and now I need something, like I need to go talk with Chava about something. I just yank them off because I need, you know, the whole earbud things. I've yelled at Chava a couple times, like, take one out, dude. Yeah. Like, hear me, like.
Yeah. Well, it's just so easy nowadays, right? Like, fuck, look where the world's come. You don't have to carry like a huge Walkman on your hip anymore.
Let me tell you what, when I got that portable CD player, boy, you better watch out. The little foam on the ears. You know what I'm talking about.
I definitely know what you're talking about. I had a couple tape and CD player, man. Shit, my shit was yellow. It had anti-shock. What the fuck? And you try that shit on Christmas morning, you'd be like, yo, look, it ain't skipping.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. No, I
and I think, you know, we talked about this a little bit. Too much opinions, I think, on products, whether it be paint, tools, you know, just all the products. I think people are, like you were saying, reinventing the wheel.
Multiple times, yeah.
I'm like, my thing is, okay, so I went through a little kick. I tried using this paint company's paint, and we've talked about it,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
you want me to say it? You want
It's
me
up. It's really up to you. Like I said, dude.
yeah,
If I
it,
ever say anything, but I just want to say this for anyone that's watching. If I ever say anything, I don't want to ever bash. I like to talk about truth of the matter. Like
yeah.
if it's like the truth of the fucking matter, I don't think it's ever. Well, I'm not saying that you'd be talking shit, but I don't ever think it's talking shit. It's just talking about the truth of the matter. So if you want to say it, go hard. You know.
Um, my thing is, we have individuals, including myself. Sometimes I'm judgmental about something, you know, uh, but you got to stop and think. So you're saying I am smarter than the engineer that this multi-million-dollar company is paying probably $1 million a year. You're saying I'm smarter than that individual that formulated this tool or this paint or this product? I don't think so. I don't think, and I'm including myself because I'm a consumer too.
Yep.
I use these products. I don't think I'm smarter than the guy that developed it, and I don't think 99% of the people are either.
Fuck, that's a tough one. That's such a tough one for me because I kind of feel like nowadays, like, I just think to myself, okay, for specifically what you're talking about, I would probably agree with you that they have scientists, they have people that are formulating these products that are doing this type of stuff, and it is very important for that company to run properly and for them to be profitable that they need to know how these products work. So yeah, they're putting in the time and the effort, and I agree with you when people are saying like I'm smarter than this. Okay, what I'm more worried about nowadays is, are those older generation of guys who actually were getting their hands dirty that really were the ones behind, inventing or producing some of this stuff, are they dying out? And is it becoming now more corporate tie wearing guys who are more like thinking about sales or thinking about advertising? Because like someone just said, like, what did you think about that new masking tool that's on Kickstarter? And I always think that every time I see a tool come out and then hear somebody complain about how it's not selling. But then you kind of look deep into it and you're like, dude, you haven't even really been doing this for like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, who invented this? Is it a painter? Is it a corporate guy? You know what I mean? So it's tough. Like, I don't know.
Nah, I can't argue with that either.
Because because I agree with you. Like, because that's what I've said that same thing too, to be like, yo, man, like, why are you reinventing the wheel? Like, these guys have put like tons of money into this or that to like figure this out. Okay, you think you know better. But then I guess it kind of comes back to the whole thing when people are like, oh no, you can't put advanced or emerald urethane on kitchens. You just can't do it. Nope. And then I'm like, well, hold on. What about the data and the jobs and the money that's been made and the people who've gone back 5-6 years later and those kitchens are still good? How can you not consider that, right?
Yeah, I've done the fine paints, and I've done emerald. I've gone back to job. I've gone back to jobs where Pro Classic is on those cabinets a long time ago.
Yeah.
They're still there. They're still they're not, nothing's wrong with them.
Right.
They look, granted, you slap them with a cookie sheet, it's all gonna get a dent. It's not bulletproof, but
it's tough, man. It's tough, man. We've talked about this actually. Now I'm starting to remember the conversation actually.
I would hey, real quick.
Hey.
If somebody wants a sticker, send me the address. Either I'll give you one of these or a different sticker.
Nice. Some new slaps. Are those new?
Yeah. But
Sweet.
if you're out of the country, type it the way I need to write it. Because the stamp costs more than the sticker.
Yeah, no doubt.
I don't, but type it the way I need to write it on there.
Definitely.
Sorry about
that. No, that's fine.
Yeah, I think people, IG, and I got caught up in it. I think IG people push and you'll see the accounts on the same week. Everybody's talking about this product. Well, that's because that company coordinated it that way.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how I'm kind of feeling about a lot of the 2K products. And I feel like there's a lot of things that aren't being talked about other than how amazing the product is. And then when other people try to say, well, I've used this. Oh, you can't use that. It's not meant for kitchens. And it's like, well, I have been, and I haven't had any problems. So like, what, but I think it's like you say, it's that hidden agenda. It's that back thing that all these companies, because you're right. Like if you don't really pay attention close to Instagram and Facebook and social media and the algorithms, if you don't pay real close attention, you might not even notice that, like you're saying, they're curating it all.
Oh,
100%. And it's the more it's talked about, even if it's bad, it's being talked about. People are talking about it, which means it's out there. And even if someone's like, oh, I heard that product was shit. Well, you know what? I'm going to try it. That's what they want. And I tell people that all the time. Like, we're micro marketers for these guys. They're making so much off of us. They don't have to pay a cent into advertising that they're getting now from so many of us. They're all just like kicking back like, yeah. And then here are some painters online and they're just arguing back and forth. I'm like, yo, you don't see what's happening here, man.
like, I'm gonna use this as an example, right? This just a grinder.
Yeah.
To make this grinder, I don't know. To build it, maybe, I don't know, $20. What did it cost to make this? The wall or any grinder? I don't know, 20, 30 bucks.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe 10. So they're giving this $10 product to someone, and people are thinking they're winning. Like people are thinking, I got this product.
Yeah.
Now I'm talk about it. It's not that expensive a product to make when you're making hundreds of thousands of them.
I know, but that's what pisses me off though, man. That some of these companies don't even want to give some stuff away for free. Where I'm like, yo, you are not even paying what you like. Imagine this was 20 years ago and you wanted to hit that many people. Imagine how much it would cost you for marketing and advertising. Now you're getting all that shit for free. You don't even want to send somebody something for free, even if it's a big account, because it's like, oh no, like that's how we lose. I'm like, yo, like we're kind of doing you a favor. So like what you're saying, it's like, right. It's like, dude, it costs you nothing to advertise this. You put that product into everybody. You know who I noticed did it right? Stinger Brush. They were just giving those motherfuckers away everywhere.
I didn't get one.
Well, fuck, if you would have asked, they would have gave you one, bro. But that, in my opinion, is smart because you're taking the cost of what, like if you did all the math on advertising and commercials and this and that, they probably spent the same giving those brushes away, and look how fast that shit spread like wildfire.
Yeah.
Right? It's the biggest market we have now. Instagram works so well because it works so well. Right? I don't know, man. It's like, it's tough.
Yeah. So going back a little bit to advertising, you asked me what I do. I do have a website and I do give out these Yeti cups.
Oh, what? Those are nice. Yeti's good shit.
So to like customers that already gave me the job.
Yeah.
We'll give it to them. This cost me $30, right?
Absolutely.
$30. But in return, every time they're drinking coffee or a little rum and Coke out of it, they're thinking about me, right?
They are. And you know what, dude? A guy who specializes in marketing told me this. He's like, the reason some people don't want to give that kind of stuff away is because they can't track how well it's going to work on their behalf. They're not okay with just believing that it's going to be out there in the universe and someone's going to see it. It's like they need hard data to be like, well, no, I gave 15 cups away, so I'm needing at least 5 customers from that to make it worth it, or else we can't give these cups away anymore. It's like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the way I think. Like, I think what you're doing is right. I'm the same. It's like, yo, here, just get it out there.
Yeah. Who was it? I think it may be like Gary Vaynerchuk. He said something about, this was a while back when I used to listen to him. Nothing against him or nothing, but he was talking about Like, why can't you spend $500 on promoting your business? Like, why is that like, why does that hurt you? Like, why wouldn't you spend money to promote your business?
Absolutely, man.
These cups, like I said, it cost me $30 to get this cup made,
Yep.
and everything. Like, $30 is nothing when I get when they're drinking drinking coffee. The friend calls, hey, I need somebody for this, and they're like, oh yeah, call Tim.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And you can't really put a price on that, which is why I'm not understanding. So back to the whole thing, like you're saying, that these guys, they've sat around, they thought about it, they put millions of dollars into it, which sometimes was why I'm like, okay, can you give me an answer to why you're not just giving more of this shit away? Why is it always, you have to have over 100,000 followers before we can give something to you for free? And it's like, dude, don't you get that? Like, hey,
a $10 product.
dude, when I went over 10,000 followers, I started getting all these messages like, hey, can we put a link on your page? Hey, this, hey, that. If you sell this, you can get 30%. Every single person, I'm like, okay, send me the product. Let me try it so I can see if this is something I want to like try and sell to my fucking followers. Like, don't you get that formula? Well, they only get it when it comes to them. So I'm like, so first of all, you don't want to send me the product to try it out because I don't have over 100,000 followers, but yet you want me to sell this product for you, and you throw me making money in my face, and you think I'm going to be like the math didn't add up. But that's how they are. I'm like, you guys are getting it all wrong. Just give the shit away. But they don't. That's the way I see it. I'm like, it's advertising that, like, we're in a different day and age, man.
Yeah.
It's totally different now. Like, you can reach hundreds, thousands, if not millions of people with one fucking post.
Speaking of IG has not benefited me in a business sense at all. No, I've spent more on IG than I've gained. Locally.
Do you mean monetary, like money wise, or just you mean time? Like, you don't do any Instagram ads or anything like that, right?
I did a few, and wrapping up also my time in it and stuff. I don't have people calling me because they saw me on IG.
Yeah.
And that's when I realized, you know what? I'm just going to have fun with this. It's a hobby. Chava, he's on board, do videos, post it, like, whatever.
So it's more fun for you.
Oh, 100. Yeah. Like, it's something to do while I'm on the pot.
Do you see any benefit to it?
Oh man, the benefit is connecting with people like you and other people that enjoy what they do and they're good at it, and that allow me to ask questions and pick their brains. Yeah. Is priceless. I'm telling you. Man, we've talked about it. We've communicated. Yep. There's people like Turner Painting, Shade.
Yep.
I picked his brain. Bresson Painting. There's just I can just keep going, right? Yeah. There's a couple of individuals that have helped me, that took the time to answer my question, where that's where I've benefited from it.
Yeah.
But IG, like, I don't know how, and it may be just because in my area, people are still on a different platform like Facebook.
Yep. Yeah.
We could just be running 10 years behind.
I think it is demographic based too, for sure. For sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because it's like you're saying, it's you're quite spread, right? Like, in terms of like your area. So I think that definitely plays a big part of it.
And the other reason it's cost me money is because I picked up Eric for my flooring contract.
That's what Callie said. Yeah. The one thing you got.
Yeah. No, Eric, let me tell you what, Eric. So he may not be on here, but Eric just messaged me. He's out of Waco. he goes, I was doing some job and he messaged me, hey, bro, you have anybody doing your floor? And I'm like, yeah, but like, you want to bid it or you want to talk, you know? And I was kind of in the middle of getting rid of the floor guy that I was using. I just couldn't depend on him. Mm-hmm. Good work, excellent work. But I just couldn't, hey, I got a job in 2 weeks or a month down the road. And I couldn't depend on him, me being on his schedule.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's it. That's the only reason. And so Eric just messaged me, hey, you got somebody doing that? I said, well, come on, come down. He came, he bid it. I didn't save no money going with him.
Yep.
Right? I liked him. Professional. We chit-chatted. He's maybe just a little bit younger than me. I liked his dad. His dad's real cool. And now I cut him a check every time we do a project.
Beautiful.
Don't think about the price because he knows, hey, I want done right. So you better bid it right.
Yeah. Yeah. So you got Eric off Instagram. So that helped there. Definitely.
Yeah, so I spent more money on Instagram than I made.
Yeah, I feel you.
But it's been really fun, man. The people connecting with people, talking with them. It's you got to put effort into it, right? You just can't just ask somebody a question you just started following.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you're using them in a sense, and
there's there's an etiquette to it, man. I tell that to people all the time. I think it was like one of the first podcasts I did too, because I feel you. Like sometimes I'm just like, yo, that was so rude. Like, I get that I'm on a public platform and I'm not a private account and you have the ability to message me whenever you want, but this isn't like, I'm not like here just for you. So I feel you, right? Sometimes you're like, yo, like, you know, come on, you know.
Happened to me the other day. Somebody messaged me about something. I saw it. I didn't have an answer for it. And I didn't pay much attention to it, and I moved on, right? Yeah. And then later they messaged me again, like a couple of days later. Hey, what did he say? Something like, never mind, I guess you're busy. Something like that, right?
Passive aggressive.
I said, hey, man. And I said to him, and a lot of times when I reply, I'm sending you a voice message. It's just quicker and everything. I said, hey, man, I'm sorry. Life got busy. No, I don't know this or whatever. But I'm like, dude, you just messaged me. Like, I'm not saying con people, but be friendly towards them. You know, if you like their work, message them. Hey, I really like what you're doing there. Or because one day you're gonna be in a pickle and you may need to ask them a question.
Well, that's just it. And I tell people it's like that scene from The Godfather where it's like his daughter's wedding day and he's still taking the people and like the guy comes in and he's like wants him to commit murder. And I love what he says to him. He's like, you don't even offer me friendship. You don't offer me nothing. But you come here on my daughter's wedding day and you ask for me to commit crime. So I feel the same way. I'm like, yo, you even want to know my name or, you know, like, so I'm a little sour about that sometimes. I'm not going to lie.
Somebody messaged me today about some technical pricing questions, and we've communicated a lot. But they were messaging me right before we jumped on. So I said, hey, give me like an hour, 5 hours. This may be a Joe Rogan podcast.
Boom.
I said, and I know when I get off of this, I'm going to message them because we have a little IG relationship.
Yeah. 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 It's a tough one, man, because I think me and Chris Grundy joked about this one time. He actually made me a hat because I said to him, like, sometimes I just feel like I should be called the reassurance king because people are only messaging me for reassurance. It's like they actually don't even really want my advice, Tim. They just want me to tell them it a certain way to make them feel good about their decision.
That's basically what I say.
Yo, Cali, charcuterie board in the house.
How did you know?
I heard the door. I heard the door. It sounded like cheese.
So I guess this is Cali.
Hey, Callie.
Danny.
I have to worry about his sugar now.
Yeah.
I feel you, bro. I feel you, man. We chatted. I got you too, man. Yeah. You're a good woman, Callie. You're a good woman.
I have to check
Have
my
fun.
Thanks.
stuff.
Pleasure.
I'm gonna go back and listen in the kitchen now.
Whatever. You want to talk about health? You know.
Yeah, we could talk about that.
Yeah.
The heart has no wrinkles, bro. That's the way I see it. But I do think that because like I don't know about you. Like, if you could retire, you'd probably still work. Hey, it's that Mexican blood. It's like me. Like if you wouldn't work.
Oh yeah, I would do something that I want to do.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and what my point was that like more and more the older I get, the more I start to think a lot more about my health. My wife is on me too, like a lot. Especially because the lacquers and stuff like that, and like used to be a smoker, and so it's like,
hey, made no joke.
And then I started thinking about that more, just like, okay, well, like I do enjoy what I do. I do enjoy being self-employed, so I do want to be there for the long haul, definitely. Because I'm the same. Like if I was retired, if I didn't have to do anything to do with painting, I'd try not to, but I'd be happy if it was still, running crews and whatever. Like maybe I'm not spraying that much, but I think I'd be okay. But it's the long haul, right? Like we got to get there, right? So.
Oh, for sure, man.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry, say again. It cut out for a second.
I stopped drinking Topo Chico.
Oh, man. Really?
Because everybody started drinking it. And I'm like,
are you the one that started that trend? Because I started seeing that.
Oh, man. If you ain't been drinking it since the 90s, you shouldn't be able to drink it at all. That's my law.
I've never personally had it, but I, of course, we drink, Lette and fucking San Pelli and shit like that. And the Perrier a little bit.
So imagine the Perrier, but more with a bite, like a more minerally harder, a harder, the fizz.
Oh, it's just more bubbly.
To me, it's a bigger bite.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah. See, I like San Pellegrino because I don't know if I'm wrong. I think my mom told me that it might be right, but it tastes saltier. I like it.
You like it?
I do like it. San Pellegrino, I would rather drink that than Perrier for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Let me chew on this for a second.
Oh, you're good, man. You're good. But yeah, I should go through some of these questions. That's why I wanted to have you on, man, because I knew it's like I wouldn't have to sit here and be like question after question after question. I know it would just flow through. It's just
we've done it. Like sometimes I'll come in here and I'll just do a live, like see what happens. And you've jumped on. You've always just kind of flowed with it, and
yeah, I don't want it to be so like, okay, question number 1. But I also don't want to just be like, so like what are you up to? You know what I mean? 2 hours later. Actually, Callie, it's been 1 hour, 49 minutes and 30 seconds.
I knew you're going to pull a Joe Rogan on me.
Hey man, like I said, if you ever have to be like, yo, gotta go, we can cut this anytime, bro. I always appreciate your time, really. The only thing before, if you have to go, I always want to do the blast off questions. So
don't even blast them. Keep going.
Keep going? All right, yeah, shit. I actually wanted to talk to you more about the social media thing and more just do you think that it's taking trades in the industry to somewhere we might not want to be? Because I see that a lot, and it's the same thing with the reassurance thing, or it's like, yo, did you just watch something and now you're not sure because you've watched 50 things and now you need some reassurance from somebody. So do you think that it's hurting us a little bit?
I think it's getting away from the basics.
Yeah, good point.
I think, if if you're a framer, there's a basics to framing. If you're a roofer, there's a basic, like there's a basics that's worked that will continue to work. Painting, what are we doing? We're spraying, sanding, spraying, brushing, sanding. That's all you're doing. And I think it's getting out of hand. This oh, you got to use this primer, this top coat, or this sponge to sand, or you got to use Festool or Merca.
Well, that actually, there was another question I seen that I thought about too, because being that you're kind of doing more than just painting, I can see that you see value in having a cachet of great tools. A great tool can help make the job amazing. It can make things a lot easier and flow better. But because you're doing multiple things and you've probably used multiple tools, do you think it's safe for people to say that there is a best?
Mm-mm. No, because when I first got into this, I wouldn't have spent $400 on a speed square. Getting it custom engraved. You know what I mean?
So, Jesus. Really, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, getting it. Yeah. No, because a $10 square will do the same thing.
But will it? Like it if it's really square, like do you maybe for me it's a bad example. Like, because it's like the square should be square, but is there ever a chance that like, oh shit, I paid $4 for this square and it's not quite so square?
It will get through it, right? Of course, the Martinez square, it's $200. It's got some really nice little features to it that make life easier. Yeah. But a $10 square, you're gonna make a little bit of money. So
yeah, I'm hard on the best thing because especially and also with the reviews. I think I've said this multiple times and I'm gonna keep saying it till I'm blue in the face. I just don't understand how somebody can do a review when they've only used the tool 1 or 2 days. That comes back to the whole social media thing where it's like, man, I got this for free. Sweet. They messaged me. They gave me something for free. I'm going to do a review. And then it's like the next day, what's up, everybody? By the way, if there's anyone watching, please don't anyone get offended, but you don't need to say your whole name, where you are, postal code, telephone number in every video when you started out because you're doing a tool review. I'm just saying it's overboard, like you're saying, man. It's overboard. Like you've only had the tool for a day and you're gonna do the review. I'm waiting for the data in like 5-6 months still.
Yeah. I am after I've had go tying into that. I've had a Festool Planex to sand drywall for like probably 5 years. The OG one.
Okay.
Heavy. It's a freaking bulldog. I mean, it will tear stuff down like popcorn.
Yep.
And just recently I'm like, okay, I'm ready to buy something that's not as aggressive for like level 5, like smooth walls. And people will get on IG and they're like, they'll compare the old Festool Planex. Oh, like this new one is better than the old one. I'm like, I don't know. That old one is pretty good. Like that old one has made me a lot of money.
Absolutely. Yeah.
The new one may have a better service for something else, but don't knock the old one.
Absolutely. Yeah. Everything has its place, right? But it's funny because like a piece of me is like, well, yeah, no shit, man. It should be better than the old one if you're constantly fucking reinventing this, but it doesn't mean that you've done a better job. And I think that's what I'm trying to remind people too. It's the same thing with the whole 2K thing. This is way better, and it's funny when I see the scratch test. Let's be real, y'all. I can tell you're not pushing that fucking hard because I come over there and scratch the shit out of that. Trust me. So it's like stuff like that where you're like, okay, all right, you don't want to be 100% like honest about this in the sense that, yeah, you don't want to scratch finish. I get it. But it's at the same time, it's like, we've done chemical resistance with lacquer thinners and this and that. I'm like, yeah, man. Like I pulled lacquer thinner out of my fridge when I was cooking. I put it down on the counter, a little bit splashed out, fucked up my cabinets. I'm like, is that realistic? I'm like, let's see some like pots and pan shit. Like I want to see like real stuff. Because to me, that's the data that matters. And it's like, there's so many holes. People aren't talking about certain things. Like nobody talks about maintenance. Nobody talks about wood density. And maybe I'm missing it because I'm not watching the 20-minute videos on YouTube. Maybe I should. But if you're putting it on Instagram even for 2 minutes, don't you think that's something you should tell people and talk about?
Yeah.
You know, so it's just, that's kind of what irks me. And sorry on the little mini rant, but it's just like,
Go ahead. Ain't nobody hey, let it go. Get up.
well, I'm just, because it becomes a revolving circle. And that's what I'm trying to tell people. They're like, yo, like, don't get so bent out of shape. I'm like, hold on a second here. You have inexperienced painters now that have fed into a narrative that's been produced by social media. They have not very much experience, but now they're selling themselves because they're using this tool or using this product or this many people seen it. So trust me, this is going to be good. But then it's like, well, hold on. Where's all the other data? How can you say, hey guys, brand new primer, the best? Like, dude, it's brand fucking new. Like it's brand new.
Hey, look, I have used the basics. Like I've used,
bro, I still use the basics. People are like, you're seriously still hand sanding?
Look, I've used Kiehl's water-based just primer. And that thing sands good.
Yeah.
I'm like, the finger scratch, it better leave a dent. Like it better leave an indention when you scratch it, right? How can I say that's not good? Like, how can I say Zinsser isn't good when it looks the same as $100 primer? Like it's on there. Like it's not coming off.
It's the narrative, bro. It's the sales, it's the marketing, it's everything they want you to do other than seeing like the problems that might be part of the product. Even if the product's great, it's just not the product. It's the systems, it's everything. It's like FPE. The number one complaint that everyone keeps complaining about is just not user practical sometimes. Like it's...
Here, let me blow my nose. I'm going to go on FPE.
Oh, sure.
Because look, I have it up there.
I see it.
Wait, let me just show you real quick. I have it.
Oh, you got a lot of it.
Right? But I also got this.
Mm-hmm.
This, you know. Gotta blow my nose. And then I'm gonna go on a rant.
Okay, well, while you're blowing your nose, I do have one question for you. What helps you determine, Tim, which of those products to use? Is it based off price? Is it based off practicality? Is it like, you know, because that's the one thing I keep seeing that, once again, inexperienced people, and it's okay to be inexperienced. I'm not getting on that. I'm just saying, like, how can you just use a product, charge more, but still have less experience, but pump it and advertise yourself and stepping up just because you're using that product? Because that's what I feel like guys are doing. They're like, yeah, well, I'm using FPE. It's going to be good. It's like, well, do you know how to completely apply it? Well, I'm still learning. So how does that work? You know? So like, that's why I'm asking you, like, how do you judge this gets FP, this gets this?
My thing is, primer needs to dry in an hour or two. And I need to be able to give it a light sand in about 3 to 5. And I need to put another coat on it.
Right.
That paint needs to dry, the same thing. My thing with FPE, especially the oil primer, it retails. The last time I bought it, I think it retailed like $130 for I think it's a half a gallon. They're equivalent to a gallon, right? Or you don't use gallons. What do you use? 2 pints?
We use gallons. Yeah, we use gallons.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't have the, what is it? I think in Australia they have like 2.5 or something.
Or so, yeah, 2.5. Yeah. If you can formulate the best primer in the world, but I gotta wait 24 to 36 hours to sand it, that's useless. Why?
But if they said to you, but good shit takes time.
Not that much time. Because your engineer can throw an additive in there to make it dry faster.
Yeah, I seen Alpha Painting was complaining about that today, because that's what he was saying. He's like, man, I'm doing like everything they're telling me, putting it on even lighter than their millage, and it's still not fucking drying.
No, it's sometimes you'll get a I call it domestic can, right? Sherwin, Bench, Killing. It says 24. You spray it one day, you come in the next morning, you're sanding. It's not 24, but you're sanding it. It's powdering up. FPE, it's a literal 24. So if you spray that morning, you might want to show up the next day.
Oh, dude, I know. I use the Brilliant just like everybody else. I'm like, all right, let's see what's all the jelly's about. So I get some Brilliant oil primer. I did that black stump in a small piece of furniture. Took almost a fucking month. A black? Yeah. Right? And I'm like,
that's cool.
And I'm like, how? I'm like, okay, I've said this before, man. Not really knocking it. I can't say much about the Eco, the Satins, all that. The Brilliant, I thought was unbelievable product. In terms of high gloss, I think there's definitely other products that can do that, because in my opinion, it's still, no matter if it's FP or not, it still comes down to technique and the prep. But when it was done, I was like, wow, shit, nice, it took like a month, but I mean, like, wow, like awesome. So it's just not practical for me to take it on site. That's all. Right? So same thing as you. It's just not practical.
I need to spray it, and I need it to be dry in a couple hours, relatively lower humidity, right? Weather plays effect on it. But I need it drying. I need to be able to keep moving.
Yeah.
Because my company doesn't revolve around the paint or the product. That product needs to revolve around my company.
Yeah, see, and that's what the struggle is for me, because you definitely see guys that are using it every single day on big projects, and maybe do you think so?
Oh, okay. I primed these cabinets I'm on right now. Primed them the next morning because they were a little bit bigger. The next morning we show up, we sand, we keep going. I couldn't do that with FPE. Literally, I would tell Chava, don't come to work tomorrow because they're not going to be dry.
But what if you priced it for that?
Where are you going to go to another kitchen where the client is without a kitchen?
I'd agree with that. Yep.
That you're bouncing back and forth.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. That is a very good point. That is a very good point. Yeah.
And I'm not, and again, FPE make a lot more money than me.
Definitely. But fuck, man, does that make it right? Does it make it the best? That's my argument all the time with it. It's like, because like I said, the more people I see come onto Instagram that you can tell are inexperienced, but they're pitching not just the product, they're using the product to pitch themselves as better than what they are, because they have this grandiose product.
I don't know. On IG, it almost sounds like they're being hired for the product instead of them.
Yeah, that's how they're selling the job, is what it seems like to me, right?
Yeah, most of my customers don't know what I'm spraying.
Yeah. I seen a guy the other day that was like, when I bring this sample and they touch it, they know. And I'm like, no, they fucking don't. Like, Like, really? They're probably like, even if you gave them 2 and you're like, this is this and this is this, they're probably looking at you like, oh yeah, totally. And then you leave and they're probably just like, yeah, whatever he said.
No, because I think they're trusting you that you're the professional, right? So you're going to bring a quality product, quality work, quality experience. They don't know. Just the same way I don't know what their field where they work. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I think it is practicality for sure, right? Like someone just said. I agree with that because I look at my job and I think to myself, okay, people are paying top dollar for these houses. The quality has to be good. It has to be there. And I know inside that there are better products that I could use that are more durable, that are more this, that are more that. I was just talking about this with a guy the other day because he was asking me about a pre-cat lacquer. He uses mostly post-cats. And I said to him, so like, why? And he said, well, it's a little more durable. It's this and that, but it's not as user-friendly. I can't give this to like a less experienced spray man. It's just not, it's a little bit more finicky. So trust me, man, I'm on that all the time when I'm looking at these jobs. I'm like, like maybe I should have put this. And I was starting to get that flack. I think we talked about this when I had the 2K guys that are like, so like, why are you still using lacquer? Like, that's kind of like, and I'm like, well, at least in Canada, our lacquer's still pretty fucking good. So I'm like, I don't know. I kind of thought this was still good. So it's hard because it comes down to, I wouldn't be able to make any money using the finicky products. It's too hard, especially in those types of houses because people think like, oh, you have this house, you have this budget, you're good to go. It's like, yeah, there's still a timeline, especially as you know, if people are borrowing money to build these properties, time is of the essence, right?
Yeah, and then you got the sub right behind you, like he's ready to get in,
ready,
his schedule.
Ready. So we've worked out our system in a way where it's practical, efficient, makes us money, and everybody's happy. It's that solution. It's that middle ground. But is there better products? 100% for sure. But I just don't think that there really is the best. That's all.
No, man, yeah. People get on IG. I think they get too wound up in what's hot at the moment.
Yeah. Well, I think more too is I used to say this early on in my Instagram life that if you're not relevant, you're irrelevant. So I think that that's what people think a lot of times too. It's like, I can tell right now, and maybe this is just me. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like I can tell when people are just really forcing to get content out there, even when they don't really have it. They're just forcing themselves. Okay, like whatever, like let's just do this and put it out, even if it just looks like we're kind of busy, because it's that FOMO. People don't want to like feel like they're missing out. You know what I mean? They need to be there. They need to. Well, man, there's such this great community. Like I need to be there too, but it's fucking a lot of shit up, man. In my opinion, it's just too many opinions, right?
Yeah, and I'll admit, I mean, I got on the bandwagon with the FPE, and I was blasting it, but I'm like,
well, hold on. I wouldn't call it getting on the bandwagon. I think if we're all intelligent individuals that want to produce better quality all the time, that's what it's about for every single one of us. Whether you do drywall to electrical, you want it to be good. So of course you're gonna try it. I did too. Mm-hmm. I don't really think it's a bandwagon. The bandwagon is more when it's like, this is it, yo. Oh, I've just tried it. This is it. And then the guys, this is what irks me, Tim. The guys that I've helped for years who've now used FPE or get certified, then they come back and they start questioning me. And I'm like, yo, like you wanted so much help before, but now all of a sudden you get certified or you're using these products, and now you're like saying to me like, oh, so like why do you really do it like that? And I'm like, oh, here we go. I'm like, oh man, like okay.
One more jab on FPE. That'll be
This isn't a jab. Truth of the matter. I've said that, man. Truth of the matter.
because again, FPE makes more money than I do. So they're doing something right to an extent, right? They they're doing well. So somebody went to their certification, and the owner told them, "I want you to use my paint. Don't use it just on doors or this. I want you to use my paint on the whole thing." I'm like, is this a pyramid scheme? Is this because you invited me up here for 1-2 days, put me up for the night, bought me lunch, bought me a nice dinner. Now I need to buy all my paint from you.
It's clever marketing, man.
Right. And again, I'll say it, FPE, the owner makes more money than I do. So
I'm not disagreeing with you, Tim. It is a tough one. But it's more just like if someone, it's all, you know what? I've said this before. I think I'd appreciate it more if people would just keep more of a broader open mind about it, as opposed to being like, you'll make more money if you use this product. Because that's what it feels like a lot of the sales pitches are on a lot of these products, whether it's tools, products, whatever it is. I think if you get somebody that boasts a big page or boasts, lots of views, lots of followers, which another thing that people aren't realizing, that can all be curated, it can all be bought. And it's putting out this like kind of, it's not always completely what it seems to be. And that's my biggest thing. I don't care, man. If you want to use FPE and your clients love it and you make money and you're happy, cool.
Rock it.
Right? But don't turn around now and start pumping this product to all your followers and shoving it down people's throats on a constant that this is the best. That's what bugs me, because I don't really care. Like I said, I used the Brilliant and I was like, damn, like this is pretty fucking sweet.
I mean, you got to put it in the oven for 20 hours.
Well, but even still, Tim, even after I was like, okay, cool.
I have it. I've sold it. And I, when somebody tells me I want a very shiny, high gloss lamppost, oh yeah, I know where to go.
Yeah,
boom.
I'm not gonna disagree. I 100%. And a little piece of me is like, man, I hope I get a job like that so I can really try this and see how well it actually works. Because no, I'm not gonna. That's why I just did small furniture, which was another thing that made me mad, Tim. Because when I tried it, guys were like, "Oh, change your substrate, then delegate." And I was like, "Oh, what? Oh, so just because I painted a couple pieces of furniture with this, I still don't know what I'm talking about." But that's the stuff that I think irks most people. That it's like, who can afford to really test this? Which is another thing. How can you be so new to the industry? You're testing on clients' job, like on projects and stuff. Like that to me is dangerous, right? So that's just what I tell people. Be careful. Right?
Hustle, do all that as a side gig.
Yeah. And that's what I did. I was like, hey, let's just see. It's like, I'm not going to go sell a job with FPE to try it out. I was just like, all right, I got some furniture. Shit, I got this stump right here. I'll just paint this fucking thing, just to see. Right?
Yeah.
But like I said, this wasn't a bash on FPE. This is really just truth of the matter that all spirals around to the social media. That's really what I'm about.
100%. Like I said, I still have the stuff. I still use it. And it's not a bash to people that use it. I mean, people who I can't compare myself to someone that's using it all the time in their area. Right? Because it's different. It's maybe all clients will want that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Knock it out.
Yeah, it's variables, right? And that's what I've said all the time. It just comes down, exactly, if that's what you want to do and you're going to make money doing it and you're happy and your client's happy, all the power to you, boo-boo. Like, make that paper out. That's what it's about for me, for sure. Mm-hmm. I can't get on anyone trying to make a buck. Definitely not, right?
Yeah.
So, but
what else
I got? Ooh, well, where are we at? We're at 2 hours and 15. You want to start wrapping her up soon? If you want, I can start dashing you through these blast off questions.
Let me stretch before you blast.
Ooh, he's stretching. Yeah, this is actually kind of my favorite part because it's kind of fun. You just blast them off. Yep. Yep. You good?
Oh, okay.
Okay. I want to say again, thank you, dude. I appreciate you chiseling out the Friday night. We got to do this again, man. I wish I could travel around and just. This is the one thing I love the most about Instagram is, like you said, meeting people. And I've made so many friends that, like, I wish I could just travel around into all the spots. You know, it would be dope. It'd be dope.
Common denominator with all of us, people that meet good people here.
Yeah, man. It's like that's why I'm still here, because it is a great quote unquote community, and sometimes I laugh at that because it doesn't always seem that way, because I think humans could probably treat each other a bit better, but you know, it's why I'm still here. There's still a lot of bullshit that goes on that drives me crazy every day, but it's my wife. Once again, it's my wife that's like, you know, if you can still help one or two people,
yeah,
that's what it's about.
I will say this about people with, I don't like drama at all. I don't want drama in my life. So when IG is having drama in the sense of an individual is complaining about something, I will drop you. Because why would I want that in my life? Why don't I want and I don't understand why people put their problems on IG. It's like,
I know.
Who cares? They're just sitting on the pot laughing at you.
I know. I've always just tried to keep mine pro. If sometimes people message me or I talk to people and they want help behind closed doors, okay, maybe I'll indulge. I'm like you. Like, if it's too much drama, then eventually I just start to ignore it. But I try and keep my page really, you know, pro. I try not to have too much stuff in my stories that's political, religious, like bashing, drama. If it's a little bit, if I'm feeling like, okay, someone might need to hear this, okay. But I try and keep it positive. I agree.
For sure.
Yeah, man. Yeah. All right, I got the first one for you.
All right, go.
What's your favorite tool? Like that you would use every day, that's something you need, you have to have.
Ooh.
Don't say the 5-in-1. Everyone says the 5-in-1. If it is the 5-in-1, great, but anything else?
No, I really pick that up. It's too stiff.
Okay, quick. Whoa. Thank you. I don't use a 5-in-1. And ton of guys are like, you don't use a 5-in-1? And I'm like, dude, that thing's like a rock hard scraper. Like, I can't apply red and shit with that.
Or you can, I may use a straight chava in the back.
Yeah.
Get that earpiece out.
I agree.
The Martinez hammer. I have expensive tools. I don't mind dropping some money on some tools.
Oh, actually, I think I seen that. That's that real fancy hammer, ain't it?
But you're not gonna hear me talking about it. You need this. No, you don't.
Yeah,
I got $20.
Yeah.
They don't look as cool.
Dude, like,
look as cool. And I got 2 of them.
Wow. Okay, quick question. How much is a Martinez hammer?
The last one I bought, they're like $300, basically.
Buck for real?
Yeah, I don't have them. They're not here. Yeah.
Damn.
When that thing is.
Okay, cool. Hold on. Let's talk about that one quick second again, if we can. Okay, do you see the value? Like, is there really a little bit more to a $300 hammer?
If you are just starting out, no. Go buy a $25 hammer. Go buy it. That's what I did. But now when I pull out the big hammer, it's got a green handle, white shaft.
Oh, damn.
You know, I think it's a red head on it. And I'm about to frame up a couple of walls, and I slip that thing out, and I pop. You dang right. I feel like Josie Wells. I whip it back in another bag. I feel good. And that's what it is. I feel good, right? Or if I'm doing a little trim work, and my next hammer, my Martinez hammer, is a smooth head hammer, smaller one. It's also expensive. It's got a blue handle, orange shaft, a black head.
Oh, jeez.
It feels good, right? And then that speed square I got, dude, it's engraved.
Oh shit.
It's engraved. It's pimping. Every time I pull it out, I'm like, I feel good. It's selfish. I feel good.
Well, it's selfish, but it's well deserved.
Right. I wouldn't have bought. Way. There's no way I would have bought that the first couple of years.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes sense. So, is the Martinez hammer your favorite tool?
That square is. I mean, I'm telling you, dude, that engraving. Go back on my post. That engraving on that heel. When you Ravendi, a guy close to me, that lives close to me, when you all sides blend into the next because it's all the holes. It is pimping. It is. When I pull that thing out, it's boy.
Even Chava is all like, "Oh my god!" Is he allowed to touch it? Is he allowed to touch those tools?
Yeah, he touched it.
Yeah. Nice. I mean, I think the most expensive thing that I have is like sprayers, but I know that like when you get into like the Renault carpentry power tools, like I do think that those types of tools probably do matter to have like good tools. Because I've had a chop saw, like a $100 chop saw that my daddy had, and then I was like, this thing is fucking out like so bad. And then I went and bought a real chop saw, and I was like, okay, I can see that.
So here's one. Okay, besides that, that's the selfish, gaudy thing of mine. Yeah. My Festool lights.
Oh,
I use a lot. They're always plugged in. They're $500 a set.
Oh, damn.
But I'm not worried about the frames breaking.
Right.
Nothing's breaking.
I see. So that's a great tool for you, eh? The Festool lights.
And it's not I don't feel special. I don't feel good when I plug them in. They just work. Like they just light it up.
Okay.
And they're not breaking. Yeah, that would probably be my because I gotta see, man. You know.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Well, actually, it was funny the other day. Sometimes I don't want to see that well because shadow helps. I'm like, actually, no. Like when we were rolling a ceiling, it was only first coat, but the tile guy's like, you don't want to have a light on to do that. I was like, if I blast the light up at the ceiling, and it's just like reflecting, I'm like, no, man, not really. It's like, have you ever tried to paint a ceiling with the pot lights on?
No. When I sprayed the cabinets, I turned one light off.
Yeah,
because I need to see it. I need to.
Absolutely.
But for the most part, when I need to see stuff, the lights. Yeah, that's big for me.
Okay, Festool lights. All right. If not painting, what would you be doing? We talked about that. If you weren't painting, you'd probably be doing something in the wilderness, wildlife, something like that. Okay. All right, here's one. Paint or whites, yay or nay? I don't know if this matters much for you as you're in Renault game, but
I like to wear my white pants.
Okay.
I got my logo on them.
Dickies?
No, Duluth Trading Company makes them.
Go. Okay.
Add a little stretch to it where I don't have to like pull my pants up where my ankles are showing to bend down.
Gotcha.
Because they don't stretch. Now they got a little stretch.
Yep.
They don't give me nothing, and I spent thousands of dollars with them. I'm telling you, Duluth, anything with Duluth quality, but they have the white painter's pants.
Oh, nice. Okay, I'm actually going to check that out because I like to wear Carhartt, but the more I looked, I actually didn't realize they didn't have a white pant.
Yeah, look it up, and they're big on the crotch thing where you just have all this room. Just look seriously. They and I was just telling Chava this week, we're gonna get them some Duluth because they're not all cotton where they don't stretch.
Right.
A little give.
No, I feel you, man. Especially in the crotch, because sometimes it's.
Yeah.
You need it.
Italian, they're.
My gay gots, for sure. I
wouldn't.
Oh fuck! Oh man! Here's one that I always love to ask. Do you believe that the Earth is flat?
No.
Fuck, have you been seeing some of the people who think even the images from the astronauts are just like all created by like CGI? You ever follow this type of shit? No, you probably don't. You probably don't got time for that bullshit.
No, but the people just in past, like on YouTube or something, just look at them. Would you have a meal with them? Would you associate with them?
Oh, maybe a little bit if I needed like my car cleaned or something. I don't know.
Nah.
Not even that. No, I feel you. That was more just a funny question. Hopefully, I'm not insulting anybody. But all right, here's a good one. What kind of brushes and rollers do you like to use?
Brushes. I really like Wooster.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I like the silver tips.
They're I think it's the Alpha. Is it the Alpha? It was Omega. Omega. I think it's Omega.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for rollers, what do you like to use?
Wait up. But I also like the Stallmeister. Can I show you this real quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
I also like the Dutch.
Snap.
Yeah, these are good for different applications. Yeah, so the Stallmeister and the Meister hand.
Sweet.
But a little more specialty kind of thing. Yep. Rollers, you know what? Purdy, microfiber knocks it out for me. Because we have textured walls.
Right, yeah.
So not as man, I couldn't imagine rolling a smooth wall.
Really?
That's like I did smooth walls in my she shed.
Uh-huh.
And that is rare to see in Texas.
No shit.
And we're doing a level 5 finish on a remodel in a couple of weeks where, sorry I moved my camera so much.
That's all good.
Big Graco, the Mark IV.
Nice.
And I don't know how they're going to paint it because that is, a smooth wall is a whole new thing for us over here.
Yeah, there's definitely a bit of a technique to it too. And I think that comes back to that product thing too. There are definitely shitty products, but in terms of like this is the best for smooth, I don't really go that crazy. Like, because I'm not a big Ben Moore fan. I know a lot of people think it's like the best, it's this and that, you know. I'm not a huge Ben Moore fan, but I do think when it comes to the smooth wall surfaces that it's, you know, there's a technique and you have to have a pretty decent product.
I could see it being more critical than a wall with texture.
Oh yeah, definitely, for sure. And you know, a little sidebar that I realized. So the Idaho painter, I don't know if it was him that started it, but I started seeing people would tape and then they would caulk the tape and then they would paint it while it was still wet. Okay. Mm-hmm. And so many people were asking me that when they would see some of my taping videos, and I'd be like, nah, man, like we don't dap it. But then I realized that a lot of places have the texture. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, yeah, that makes fucking sense right there. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, definitely.
It looks clean. I've done it and I'll continue to do it.
I've seen it. It does look clean. Like I see guys do it a lot too on the treads. Like when they're doing like kickers and stringers and it's a stained tread, they'll tape it off, they'll caulk it, they'll cut it in, they unmask it. And I'm like, damn, that is fucking crisp. Mm-hmm. You know? So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I've heard people bash that guy, and I'm like, I don't know. Some of that stuff makes sense.
Well, I'm not gonna. So just like you were saying before, like I wouldn't say I was a bandwagon jumper, but I think right when I got on Instagram, you start to see stuff, and right away you start to be like, no. But that's changed quickly for me. That's why I started going back to the variable thing more, because I'm like, you know what? I can't say right away that that's wrong. Just because I seen it and it's not how I do it, I can't say, oh, that's wrong. Because you don't know, right? Like, and then I realized, like, oh, it's the texture. Duh, that makes sense. How the fuck would you cut, like, the ceiling line, right?
I pulled my hair that when I started painting, I'm like, why is this bleeding through?
Yeah.
I wish I had G 10 years ago.
Me too. And see, and that's what's great about it too, right?
Seriously, so. I'm like, wow. And I had some old dude like, oh, you gotta run your knife. You gotta run it and set it. And I'm like, no, fool, it's not working. I'm still bleeding.
Turn the light off.
And I don't care what frog tape you use, it's still bleeding through.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Have you tried the new Blue Dolphin washi stuff? The washi, it's called washi tape. It's like yellow. It looks like caution tape. You know the washi stuff. Have you tried? Haven't, eh?
No, I stick to what works for me is like Sure tape and frog tape.
Yeah.
Because I get it. Because I can get it.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's tough for you too, for sure. I mean, frog tape works great for us because, of course, we're using it a lot on flat, smooth surfaces after we're done spraying. But I could definitely see, like, for exteriors and stuff, like, it'd be hard to get a fucking crisp line on something that's such a porous texture, right?
Yeah.
Right? So that made me start changing the way I thought about things sometimes, for sure. Next question is chicken or beef? You a chicken or beef guy?
Beef. We're from Texas.
Definitely, hey? Yeah, I could see that for sure. Oh, how do you like your steak?
Bloody.
Really? You'd hate me then, man. Damn.
Yeah. But the thing is, going to a restaurant, you got to tell them, I want it medium rare, more on the rare side. Because for me, they always overcook it. Yeah, I want it bloody.
Wow. Yeah, I stopped ordering steaks at steakhouses because I'm the well done guy. I'm the guy that's like, yeah, fucking burn it.
I don't think there's nothing. I wouldn't judge you because it's like, that's your taste buds.
But it's not really the people I'm with. It's usually the fucking dude. I went to this restaurant. Okay, it's a steakhouse.
I'd be like, hey, dude, go get that dude's steak.
Dude, and that's what I had to do 3 times. The one time was like, okay, it was like a kind of like, it wasn't a nightclub, but it's like they still had dinner. Then after dinner hours, there's like a DJ and stuff. Okay, so I order a steak well done. This girl's literally like, do you want a fucking glass of milk with that too? And I was like, oh shit. I was like, well, I'm paying for it, so just go and get the steak. Like,
yeah, I guess you don't want a couple dollars as a tip.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And exactly. So then I go to a steak house, and this guy's like bringing the cuts of steak out on like a piece of wood. He's like, okay, this is this. And I'm like, oh shit. And I'm already getting anxiety because I know exactly what's going to happen. Okay. So then I'm like, okay, I'll do this cut. He's like, okay. He's like, how do you want it done? And I'm like, well done. And he literally was like, listen, if you're going to do that to this steak, don't even bother. Buy this steak if you're going to ruin it. That's literally what he fucking said to me. And I was like, damn.
That dude worked at Applebee's last week.
Yeah. Yeah, no. So I started ordering the salmon because I was like, okay, fuck it. Like, are you...
I love fish.
Oh, me too, man. Definitely, yeah. But I'm a well done guy, and everyone's like, oh, really? And I'm like, yeah, man, burn it. I don't give a shit.
Dude, eat it.
Yeah. So, we talked about if you could start a business tomorrow. Actually, did we talk about that? If you could start another business tomorrow, what would it be? If it didn't have to do with like a hobby.
Oh, just out of the blue, something different.
I mean, like did you ever have plans of ever starting like another company or a side hustle ever?
I would be a rancher.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah, I would run cattle. I think we talked about this. My dad used to manage a big ranch.
Cool.
We grew up cattle, horses. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. That reminds me of Philip too. When I interviewed him, he said he would be like, oh, I'm gonna get this totally fucking wrong, but like the fancy word for like a I don't want to say gardener, but like growing vegetables and fruits, like whatever he called it. I was like, yeah, that'd be a fucking sweet job, actually. Like a fuck, I can't remember the word he used, but
kind of arborist. Yeah. Anyways,
yeah. Yeah, something like that. Something that would make him happy, definitely. Ooh, here's a good one. What's one of the most painful things you have ever been told when it comes to either a job or your business from a client?
I got sued one time.
Oh shit, really? How'd that go?
Yeah. I'm glad I had all my paperwork and proof in line.
Wow. What happened? Do you mind me asking?
No, you can ask. I've never told nobody this on IG.
Oh shit.
Like I throw it out there. I want to put it on the table, son.
Yeah, I want to know, like, because in Canada, I don't know if this is really true. This is probably just like a stereotype, but like people think in the States you can sue someone for anything. Is that really the case? Because here in Canada, you can't really do that.
I don't know. Probably we Americans are. Yeah, probably. I would say yes.
Yeah. Okay. So what happened?
A lady well, a friend of mine that's an insurance adjuster went to go look at this lady's house, and the adjuster, I guess, gave her what? No, he wasn't an adjuster. He was a somebody that comes in like a, what do you call it? Like Surf Pro. Do you have a Surf Pro up there?
Is it like a restoration company, sort of? Yeah. Yeah.
A restoration company. He worked for a restoration company, showed up, and basically he didn't take the job. He goes, you know what? You're too far out. We're not going to do the job.
Right.
And he gave him my number. But if you need a drywall guy, here, call Tim. And so she did. She called me. Towards the end of the job, I should have read my gut feeling, because why is the old texture, like a layer of texture, just coming off the ceiling? And we repair it, and then at the very end, this big circle, this old patch falls. I couldn't repair it. I couldn't make it look good. I went back again, and maybe a third time, and I'm like, what is wrong? Come to find out, she never had it dried. She had a water leak in the ceiling.
Oh, fuck.
The installation was never, and I didn't think, did you get it dried? And I even dealt with her insurance. I have email. Again, I had all my ducks in a row. And I kept telling her, and she's an old lady, like grandma age. And I kept telling her, I said, you need to contact the insurance company and tell them you know this, or this, or this. But she kept calling me because the insurance company wasn't returning her phone calls.
Right.
So who's she going to sue?
You.
Me. So we show up to court, and again, the lady's old enough to be our grandma. And her daughter is old enough to be our parent, or my mom. The judge comes in and says, hey, usually I like to give the individual a chance to talk about it. Maybe y'all can settle it before we start. Do y'all want that? And we're both like, yeah. And so I'm there, and I explained to the client and her daughter, and I show them the email. I am like, boom, 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 boom. Right, I'm protecting myself.
Yeah.
And I look at the daughter, and I say, look, I am not trying to take advantage of your mom. But your mom didn't do this, this, and this. And I kept trying to tell her, and I have the emails and every, and da-da-da-da. And the daughter's kind of, because the mom didn't tell her all that. And I have all the proof. And I was like, what do you want to do? And the client, the mother goes, well, you said you would give us 900 back, or 900. I looked at Callie, I said, cut the check.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah,
I'm not. And literally, Callie whipped out that book, because she doesn't let me hold the checkbook. And he cut a check. I said, here you go. But I told her daughter, because again, what's the contractor's always trying to shaft the client.
Yeah.
Right. But in this, I'm like, I told her, I've tried to help your mom. And we live in this community. But where I knew I was right is after we settled it, the judge come in and she's like, hey, did y'all settle it? Well, yeah, we're going to cut her a check for 900, right? Here you go. We got paperwork settled, and we're cordial.
Yep.
We're both cordial. No no nastiness, nothing. I knew I was right when both parties were walking out, and the old lady, the client, goes, "Tim, you sure you can't come back and fix my drywall?" She's saying that in front of her daughter.
Yeah, because she knew you did a good job and it wasn't your fault.
I said, "No, ma'am."
You couldn't do it, eh?
I'm like, heck no. After you
Like, you just tried to fucking sue me.
seriously, no.
You should have said,
Like,
yeah, I'll charge you $900.
No, there's no way.
Yeah.
And
shit.
at that, there was before we started that job, I just had a gut feeling, and I told Callie about it. Like, I don't know about this, da 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 da. And I think I didn't have no work coming up or something, so I needed. And so I took it.
Yeah. Hey, dude, I'm a believer in that. I can feel that. Like when I walk into a house, I don't know if it's like the chi or what. I don't even know. I don't even 100% believe it. But sometimes I feel you, man. I'm just like, something.
You're dealing with that, yeah.
Like the juju, maybe it went wrong from the beginning. I don't know.
Yeah. And so, and I told Callie that before we got the job and everything. And now when I tell Callie, I'm like, no, I'm not. She don't even question it. Like when I turned this past week or this week when I emailed it, there was no debate. Like, I'm not doing that job. Email.
Yeah.
It's had a little,
no,
because the past one I had a little gut feeling and I was already too booked up. I'm like, I think I'm forcing it. I don't want it.
Yeah, man. Hey, you know what? I learned that a lot from doing music and writing and trying to like write songs and stuff like that. There really is a forcing it. You know, no, you don't want to wait around all day for this song to write itself, but there's also, it doesn't feel like you can't just fucking force that shit. It just doesn't work.
No, 100%.
Yeah, that's, I'm sorry to hear that, but at least, hey man, at least
several years ago, and a lot of lessons were learned.
Yeah, absolutely. I bet.
Dollars to learn the lessons.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy. Yeah, I've fingers crossed, knock on wood, I haven't had anything like that. I hope not.
You will.
I hope not. I hope not.
I mean, that just.
It's been pretty good so far. I haven't, not the suing, but I mean, like, there's been a couple of times where people not tried to screw me for money, but it's like, yo, man, I don't want to ask the 20th time, you know, like, what the fuck, you know? So, yeah. I've been blessed so far, but you're right. You know, I'm still young, and there, who fucking knows what could happen.
I don't know. I can get to next week. But that's just part of. That's business, you know. Clients. That's just the way it goes, man.
Yeah, definitely.
A friend of mine that has a company, they laughed at me. A friend of mine that has a company, not related to construction, and the wife goes, she's laughing. She goes, "That's pretty good. You've been in business that long, haven't been sued."
That's wild.
like that's just not like laughing at me personally.
Yeah.
Right? But
no, for sure.
That's it's gonna happen eventually.
Well, that's why I kind of liked going the builder route as opposed to the public demographic sometimes, because if you can get in with a good builder, then you're hoping that you all have each other's backs. You know what I mean? That's what I liked about it. Cause that's what I know a ton of people say, like, I fucking hate working for builders. I hear that a lot. I hear that a lot about GCs too. Like some people just hate it. And I can totally understand that as well. But for me, it was more just like, it's like a little bit of protection. You know what I mean? Just a little bit. Although you're definitely in their pocket a bit where it's like, yo, man, like, you got to go fucking fix that. You know, you don't get to delegate sometimes. Like, as for you, you're talking with the client, you're working it out. But if the builder says to the client, no, it'll be done and fixed, you know, you're getting that call and you're like, yo, get your ass over there and fucking fix it. Right. So.
Yeah, this individual wasn't helping herself, and I was trying to help her. So it was a business decision, but again, it made me feel good when she was asking me to fix it.
Yeah.
After she tried to sue me, and I'm like, I won.
Yeah. Even though you had somebody good. Exactly.
And she said it in front of her daughter.
Yeah.
That's old enough to be my mom. I'm like, oh yeah, I won.
Yeah.
I feel good. I'm like,
yeah. Hey, man, it could have been a lot worse if you didn't have your ducks in the row. So that's a good lesson to anyone that's watching right now. Make sure you got your shit on lock.
Contract.
Yeah, definitely. Coffee or tea or neither?
Coffee and every once in a while a tea.
Nice. Yeah, I'm kind of the same. I like coffee, but the tea has to be right. If it's like some fancy ass shit with still got all the leaves in it and stuff, I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good. Give me the espresso. You know, I'm just like, yo, that's too difficult right now.
Yeah.
Sweet or salty?
Salty.
You're not a Chicago mix guy?
You know,
Love Chicago mix.
I can have a cookie and put the other half back in the thingamajiggy.
All right, I feel you.
I'd rather have 4 tacos. Spicy and salty.
I can't do the spicy, man. Can't do the spicy. I know. And so many people are like, yo, you're Italian and your dad's from Chile and you don't eat spicy food. I'm like, hell no. I cannot do it. My cake gots. Color that you hate painting the most?
Propose gray.
Really?
I painted that thing for like a year or two. I'm like, is there any other color?
For sure. Yo, my dad used to be a baker and we wondered why there was never like baked goods in the fucking house. And we'd be like, how come? And he's like, if I see another muffin, I've baked muffins for 2 fucking years. If I see another goddamn muffin, yeah, so I feel you.
Yeah. And I got it in my house too, so shut up.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, man. Yeah. Here's a good one. If you could change a few things about yourself now for the future, what would it be?
Probably my health.
Yeah, I agree.
Just you know, recently we talked about it a little bit.
And I'm not saying I agree for you. I think about it all the time.
Yeah, as we, you know, I'm 38. Taking care of myself now for the future. That's why Callie brought me a snack, so my sugar wouldn't go so low, and I'm trying to, you know, just get a little healthier.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sexy enough. I mean,
Callie, sexy as fuck. You're sexy with a capital AF, bro.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
That's sir. Yes, sir.
Sir. Yeah, that's it.
That's it. Yeah. That's why I had you on, man. That's why I had you on. I'm getting all that sexy clout off of this interview. In your opinion, what is the most important personality trait or strength that someone would need to work in an industry like what we do?
For us, we're working more with the client. We're working directly with the client. Social skills.
Yeah.
If you can't carry a conversation, you can't pet a dog or pet a cat.
Yeah.
Yeah. You, even if you're faking it, even if you hate cats.
Yeah. I agree with you, man. But I've also noticed too that having confidence in what you're saying is a big thing too. Because my brother, he's good with clients, great with clients, but when it comes to, I'm like kind of give him the elbow. I'm like, yo, you're saying too much now, man. Like, just like, you know what I mean?
I say too much sometimes.
Oh, dude, don't even get me started. It's 2 hours and 50 minutes here. I could go fucking all night. This is one of my favorite questions.
Go ahead.
When's the last time you cried? And I know that seems personal, but I really feel like it's a good question because we're all humans, and I do think it's a good question.
No, I have no shame in it. It was probably 6 months ago. A friend of a family state trooper was murdered.
Oh shit, man.
And my older brother was his best friend, like literally his best friend.
Oh man, sorry to hear that.
In this little she shed my brother came. He was staying close by, and he came down for all that. And my brother Pedro walked in here, and I walked in. We shut the door. Didn't say nothing. Just started crying because we grew up with him, and it was I probably cried the most those couple of days.
Yeah.
And I don't. Yeah.
Fuck. I'm sorry to hear that, man.
No, man. It's you gotta let it out. If not, you'll be a old prune.
I agree. I definitely agree, and I think a lot of I think if you're a male, don't think any different about it. That it's like you're any less of a man if you do. Hey, if you want to go somewhere and have that moment to yourself, cool. I'm not telling you to go fucking cry in front of everybody. But I think as humans, if you want to, go hard. You know, yeah, like I'll support you, you know, I got you. But I'm also just saying, like, you know, it's good to, you know, that's why it's one of my favorite questions, you know, because like, especially having kids, man, like I find myself, you put on a sad fucking song and I'm kind of like, I start thinking about my parents. I start thinking about life. Next thing I know, I'm like.
And Callie would be like, so when that happened, again, this guy, he was my older brother's best friend, and as being younger, I was allowed to tag along.
Yeah.
Right. So, and when that happened, I would come into the shed and cry, and I'd go back in the house, and Callie would say, you've been out there crying, and I'd be like, no, stop what you talking about. You know, I just had to come here and cry by myself. And
like something in my eye. No, I don't really give a fuck anymore. I'm not gonna like. I think having kids and then my parents getting older and life starting to change really was a big eye opener into really what life's all about. You know, it's crazy. Like I don't know. It's fucked up. You know, because of my cousin actually, he committed suicide. And the same thing. It's like out of nowhere. Never think that this would be the guy. Honest. Any fucking day of the week, I would have put my fucking money on it. Even though he had some demons, never actually thought that, you know, that would happen. And it did. It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
It was unreal. So, yeah, we cried on that quite a bit, too. Yeah.
You gotta let it, man.
Yeah, it's just part of life, man. Definitely part of life. All right, man. Here's the last one. If you could just lend advice to humans or tradesmen or whatever, best piece of advice you could give, because like I say, this is going to go up and it'll be on the podcast. And what kind of advice would you give?
Oh man, I get that basic. Be a decent human. You know, I think that goes a long ways. Just be a decent person. I mean, if you're not, I mean, you're just a butthole. You're just, you know, I mean, freaking give food to a homeless. You'll feed a stray dog, or be nice to a person. You'll be nicer to a dog than a human. It don't make sense to me.
Yeah.
That's my thing. Just be a nice person.
I agree, man. Yeah. If I can add a little bit, I say to people, like, learn to love yourself, because if you can't love yourself, you can't love other people. So, you know, love the good and the bad about yourself, and, you know, just don't fucking worry. Hey, are you on TikTok? Are you on the TikTok?
You know what happened?
Oh, I know what happened. Trust me, I'm the same. But sometimes I get a little carried away. Well, I just found it wasn't for me. I watch it for funny shit and for like animals. But if it comes to like whatever I'm trying to do with painting, TikTok doesn't work for me. Right?
Yeah. At the time, I felt like a pedophile. Like 13-year-olds were following me, and I'm like, why are they following me? What? And I felt weird. And so I just stopped. I'm like, what is going on? Like, I didn't know what it was. I'm like, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
That's
I agree with you. And I think I did put a story up like that at one time too, because at the same time that I was getting on it was mostly because my kids were there. Right.
Okay.
They were starting. So I'm like, okay, let me check this out. Let's see what the hell's going on here. But
Yeah.
it was the same thing. I'm like, nobody else notices the 10, 12-year-old girls and boys just dancing around, and they all got Lululemons on, and it looks like it's 3 a.m. and the parents don't give a fuck. Nobody cares about this shit.
That was I'm like, I don't care about social media that much.
Yeah, me too, definitely. But my point was that there is a thing on there which I'm kind of on a fence about this. It kind of reminds me of like the whole, here, watch me give this homeless person some food and watch me go viral with it at the same time. Right? So it's like that thing where I'm kind of like, that seems a little like you're just chasing clout. But there is a thing on there that is, am I happy? I think it's called, or are you happy? They just go around and they ask that to people. Yeah. So it can ask you a question and are you happy? And as soon as they start explaining it, they play some sad, sappy music, and I'm like, wow, that was kind of sweet. And I'm like, oh, damn, you got like 6 million followers, a bunch of sponsors, huh? Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
I don't even have the app on my phone.
Oh, I'm not going to lie. I still have it. I don't go into it very often.
I tell you, that's not for me. I didn't find nothing for me. So I was like,
no. And now it's pretty much like that on Instagram. So you don't even fucking need TikTok anymore. But I must say, I've never laughed harder watching some of this fucking shit.
And there is some funny stuff on
dude, some of it I'm just like, what the hell? Like,
yeah.
but mostly I did it mostly because my kids, I try really hard to calculate how much they use it, but it's like anything, right? You know that if they're not using it here, they're probably watching with their friends somewhere, so I'd rather them learn about it, learn about the things to watch out for. And that's kind of why I got on it. But then I started realizing, dude, my wife didn't have it. And it was like, what, maybe 2 months ago? I kept trying to be like, hey, did you see this thing? Oh, no, I don't have TikTok. I'll be like, okay, you should get it. Biggest regret. She loves that fucking shit now.
No, I think my social media, more than I think IG, is YouTube.
Yeah, I wish I would have got on that a lot earlier too.
I like to. So 15 years ago, I would just turn the TV on.
Yeah.
Right. And I'd wake up, something would be playing while I make my coffee, whatever. And you're just listening to it. Mm-hmm. That's YouTube now. Man, I feel like there's more in depth on there because of the timeline. But I mean, the IGTV has changed. The reels have changed.
Yeah, that kind of pissed me off. I'm not going to lie. Because I'm like, why? Like, so you've pretty much just said, if you want to watch anything longer, go to YouTube. That's pretty much what you've said now. Like Instagram, I mean.
I like the 60 seconds. Like I would do the videos.
I like it too, but it's like, it's causing a bit of something that's problematic in my opinion. Because now everyone thinks like you're a fucking guru because your algorithm just hit the G spot one day. Right? But they're like, oh, no. It's because like I'm a fucking guru. And it's like, no, man, you just hit the algorithm. And that's what the reels are helping you do. So I put a challenge out there. I'm like, let's see if you can make that same kind of engagement rating with a video that's over 60 seconds. Nobody does it. Well, of course, because IG's made it that way now. Like, why? That shit just doesn't get attention. If you're not spraying a door front on a lazy Susan spinning it around, you're not getting views.
I'm telling you, I would laugh if social media stopped today.
Who was I talking about that with the other day? If everything just stopped.
Like I don't think people realize this is to some extent, and not taken away again from the relationship we've built.
Absolutely. I agree.
But if we stopped communicating, you, Danny, would still be doing okay in life.
100%.
I would still be doing
You
okay
would.
with life.
You'd be okay.
I think there's some people who would be crying in the corner.
I think a lot of people actually would. Yeah.
People that say they make a bunch of money in life.
Yeah.
Or
superficial, man.
it's a lie.
Yeah. It's superficial.
I don't, yeah, that's my 2 cents.
Well, but it's true, man. You know, it's a simulation, which is why I can understand why some people would put so much personal stuff online, take stuff so personal, and then when other people are saying like, yo, man, that's bullshit, or that's drama, or that's this or that, then people are like, they start to get offended, and you're like, yo, but nobody asked to see that. So in one hand, if you don't want to see it and you unfollow them, you're a dick. But in the other hand, they're just supposed to sit there and watch your personal life unravel, unfold, watch you cry, watch you get mad.
Why do people put so much? So there's one individual, I'm not gonna say a name because I'm not like that. I'm like, why are you putting that all out there? Because somebody did you wrong, or these people did you wrong, or whatever. I'm like, why? First of all, nobody really cares. Sorry, dude. I'm sitting on the pot watching your stuff.
Amen, brother.
Why? But why are you putting it out there? Like,
well, I think maybe some people really like to hear themselves, or misery loves company is one thing I always say.
In the 90s, they had this thing called a psychiatrist.
Yeah. But that's online now. Tim, you can get a psychologist. Just go message them in their inbox, you know?
A psychologist.
Oh.
Psychologist? What is it?
It's psychiatrist for sure.
I don't know.
Yeah. But I agree with you. Then I'm like, yo, like, but once again, it's like, yo, I don't need a psychologist. I found this fucking girl or guy on the internet. They got like 300,000 followers. I've just been doing all my psychiatric help through them. And it's like, what?
I
don't know. Once again, truth of the matter, y'all. It's not a bash. It's just be real. Just think about stuff. That's what I tell people all the time. Like, before you react to something, it becomes like this game of telephone. You see in a video, you don't know 100% if it's true, but because you see someone with a collar and a big number or something, you think it's true, but you don't do your due diligence. Then you start going around telling people what you've seen. All the while, it might not even have been true.
Yeah. And if anybody is throwing numbers out there, they're lying. As soon as somebody says, you know, I make this much or I've done this much, you're lying. Because the people that I personally know that are wealthy
don't talk about it.
They don't talk about it.
Well, why would they? They're too busy fucking making money.
Yeah, they I'm telling you, I'm
Hey man, you've never heard that metaphor? You know why Lamborghini doesn't have commercials? Because people who can afford Lamborghinis aren't fucking sitting around watching TV.
Yeah.
That's the metaphor I've heard, right? So I'm like, yeah.
Some of these, and then most of the people, again, with 100 employees, these friends of mine, they don't have social media.
Yeah, good point.
They don't. And most of my clients don't have social media
either.
Yeah.
All right, well, maybe I should delete my account. It's been a good one, Tim.
That's how we end it.
Hey, I don't know if anyone else has noticed, but I was gonna start putting this. I was gonna create a hashtag that was gonna say, what was it gonna? What did I want to say? I should have left with Philip, or where did Philip go?
Where did he go, real quick?
He fucking kiboshed the shit. I know he did. He did.
Yeah.
He deleted his account. I was like, oh, did this motherfucker block me? I was like, no, this guy's gone. He left. Good.
I don't. You know what? I wish you nothing but the best for him.
Me too.
One day we're all going to be gone. We're like, out.
Yeah.
No announcement, no nothing. And
Yeah.
hey, guess what? He's still gonna do good.
He will. Absolutely. And you will, and I will, and anyone that's focusing just on what they love to do in life in front of them right now, not on the screen, like right in front of them, they'll do good. You
Yeah.
know? So, but yeah. But that was the last of them, bro. We made it. How many whiskeys did you have? Were you drinking whiskey or scotch? Or is it the same thing?
I was having bourbon.
Oh, bourbon. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Well,
Not too much.
I really appreciate you having bourbons with me on a Friday night, 3 hours later. It's okay, K Barco. Hey, Callie, I did get a text from my wife. I just haven't been able to read it yet. And I think that she's saying, what the fuck are you doing?
Tell me, have a Joe Rogan moment.
That's right. Joe Rogan moment. That's right. Absolutely.
And thanks for letting me bug you over these last couple of years with questions. And
Oh, dude. Like, if anyone ever feels that way, I wouldn't, I would have started being a douchebag right in the beginning if I didn't want to help people. But it's like, it's now becoming more the people that are like trying to literally, seriously, Tim, like this one guy asks for advice. Okay, give him the advice. It's literally like every hour. And I'm like, you just need to go and fucking try and make the mistakes, and I can only give you so much. That's the stuff that makes me wish I would have started charging in the beginning. But then all the other people that I've met, I'm just like, nah, it's not. It's just about painting. And if people need help, I'm here to help them. I wish I had this, right? So.
Oh yeah.
And I met great people like yourself and others, and and like I said, that's exactly. Hey,
there's some good people on here. There's some fantastic humans, man. Fantastic humans. And even humans that other people might be like, fuck that guy or fuck this. For me, it's business. I can't really say that I hate somebody. I can definitely hate shit that people do. But, we're all here for the same shit, right? Yeah.
So that's why I appreciate you, man. That's why I wanted to have you on, because I knew that I could say whatever the fuck I wanted with you on.
Oh, man, hey, man, I respect it. Hey, give it to me, man.
Yeah.
I grew up with two older brothers and an oldest sister, and
oh man,
parents. And if you weren't crying at dinner time, something was wrong.
Yeah, for sure. Well, once again, man, I really appreciate you doing this. Always much love, much respect. Thank you, Callie. Once again, big ups to the wives, the back door, all that stuff.
First 30 minutes, all about the ladies.
Hey, man, like I said, I really wish I could maybe do a podcast and get a wife on. But as the more I thought about it, I was like, wow, there's just too many variables, too many different situations. So maybe one time.
Who did it? And I thought they did a nice job. Was the Modern Craftsman.
I've listened to it a couple times. Do they have for wives on there?
They have their wives.
Nice.
And I didn't tell her about that one, because she would be on the bandwagon. She'd be like, he does do that. Or yes. Yeah.
But I do think that they need to be put on a platform themselves too sometimes, because like I said, it's that iceberg thing, man. So
one hundo.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, maybe we could double date it one night and do like a 4-screen.
You ain't met my wife. She's crazy.
Yeah. Yo, my wife's a little crazy too. Yeah, honey. I'm coming.
Yeah. Cool, man. Well, I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. I appreciate you, man. So thanks again. Like I say, I'm gonna edit this as soon as I get a chance, and it'll be on all the platforms. And thanks again, man. And I know that people will get a lot of value out of this, even if it's just a good listen. I appreciate it, and thanks again.
All right, man. Well, holla.
Absolutely, man. You have a great night, and much love.
Much love, bro. Later.
All right, my man, Timothy Barco. Love that guy. Really, like I said, I think I say this every time, that this is really what it's all about for me. I just like meeting people, making friends, enjoying good conversation with great people. So thanks to everyone that tuned in. Thanks so much to all the listeners. Really appreciate you. Much love. And stay tuned for this post. Another episode of Real Paint Talks of PSC Live. Much love, y'all. Have a good night.